All right, welcome in this morning here on this Wednesday morning as we have got a packed house. The entire crew has made it into the studio. Besides Stewie. Stewie is still out of commission due to lack of car, which it's crazy how we've ended up in this
predicament
place
once again.
You know, it's kind of like a flashback to 2022 when me and Lloyd were giving Stewie rides. I do feel bad for Stewie that he is without a vehicle currently, because I know that's a tough spot to be in.
Terrible spot to be in.
It's the worst when you're hitching rides and you're asking and you're like, can you pick me? Can you bring me home? Can you pick me up for that? It's a tough spot.
Somebody should give him a car.
Yeah, if you are out there and you'd like to give Stewie a car, feel free. He does have a car; it's just out of commission. So if you can fix his car, you can do that as well.
Trade.
Just do the right thing.
But Kinfolk and Seaman are here, as Christian is the talk of the town here on social media, the new Twitter star.
A lot has changed since the last time. Been an SEC coach on Twitter.
You did, actually. I mean, if you have not seen, Christian made the original Whit Weeks Landry Kiffin post.
That was thanks to you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for giving me the credit. But
Good teamwork,
he
guys.
did one. He went down the rabbit hole and just became the guy. He became the Whit Weeks Lane Kiffin guy on Twitter. And Lane Kiffin responds to somebody saying that it was, back in January, that Landry is not a Chili's girl as someone asked to take her out on a date to Chili's. And Christian then says, you got that. You're right about that one, coach. # one love with a picture of Whit Weeks in a Canes ad. And it now has 2.4 million views and 15,000 likes. And then it got repurposed and posted on Instagram by one of the college football accounts. And I had to call Christian last night to check on him, make sure he wasn't crying.
This is all he's ever wanted.
It's beautiful. Great work, Christian, because it's a good tweet.
It is.
It's an excellent tweet. It's not like it wasn't deserved.
When I tweeted it, I was sitting in the airport ready to hit my flight to New Orleans, and I tweeted it, and it got like 50 likes in 10 minutes, and I'm sitting there thinking, my phone's in my pocket, and I'm like, I might have just posted another banger today. Sure enough, my flight lands, because this was right before we boarded. My flight lands, it had like 2.7K likes, and I'm like, holy shit. and then
it just went crazy.
And then Andre texted me.
What did he say?
He's like, dude, your tweet's popping off right now. I'm
Hey,
like,
congratulations, Tristan. I'm real proud of you. Thanks.
That's exactly what was said.
Yeah.
No, but I'm happy for Christian, because if you do not know, which I'm sure
He's
most
been chasing
of you,
this high.
he has been working for this moment.
There's a lot of
For
misses
so long.
in that Twitter.
If you go through that Twitter, there's a lot of times where he tried to be, shock jock, make it happen, and it didn't work. But he finally struck stardom, like Sabrion said. Congratulations,
The
Christian.
funniest thing is if you do go through it, like, should I follow? Like, oh no, never mind.
I think I'll just like this tweet.
Yeah.
I don't know
And
what
the
to follow.
cesspool underneath it is wild.
2.3 million views, only gained like 30 followers.
But the crazy part is the conversations on social media between the LSU and the Ole Miss fans, like Lloyd said, the cesspool below it. There's this one guy specifically
He's mad
on Ole Miss Twitter. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
If I could find him, because I don't remember his actual name, his @ but he has been everywhere, under every single post, just absolutely blowing it up. Can't find his
War
@
against Michigan?
No, where's the guy at? Let's see. Because every single post, and he's gotten into some battles with some LSU folks. We'll see if we can find that later on. But we appreciate you guys hopping in here and joining us on this fine Wednesday morning, as LSU and Ole Miss will face off this Saturday afternoon at 2:30 in Oxford. Do not forget to be at Golf Suite Saturday, as we will be live for the entire game. We'll fire it up a little bit before pregame. We'll close it out a little bit after postgame. But you should be there the entire time, hanging out with us. Food, drink, golf. The Ryder Cup will be on the other TVs. There's no reason to not be at Golf Suites this weekend. And if you wanted to get fired up for LSU football, they put out a somewhat of like a hype video on Twitter. Lloyd, did you see that? If we want to slide that up there.
The Golf Suites did?
No. LSU football did.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. No, not Golf Suites. No Golf Suites hype videos yet.
Was it Sip Central, the account?
No, it's just this random guy. I'm gonna have to find him. It's just this random guy and some of the words he's used. Garrett Nussmeyer Enthusiast got in a battle with him. If you want to find that on Twitter, go to his page and you can probably find the man I'm referencing. But if you want to get fired up for this weekend, here you go.
Louisiana driving down I-12 to face your third-ranked and undefeated Fighting Tigers of LSU.
Can't play that.
This is how you do a hype video right here. I don't see any Ole Miss clips in it.
Hurdle.
He tried. Was the second time he tried that.
Yeah,
in the
big on
game?
it.
Trying to jump over people. There's your guy, Christian KP.
There you go.
Guy's the best. That's how you do a hype video, Ole Miss. How many LSU Ole Miss historic clips did you see get put out? No, they just used highlights from the last game. Put it to music.
Yeah.
They didn't.
You don't
They
need
didn't
2 decades
replay
of-
Jaden Daniels getting hit. Today we will dive into some of the playmakers for both of these teams.
First matchup between LSU and Ole Miss was in 1894, and they only had enough highlights to make a 15-second video for LSU.
And they had to reuse multiple highlights. We will dive into the playmakers for LSU and Ole Miss today, as there are a handful that really stand out in this game. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys specifically for Ole Miss, and we'll talk a little bit about what LSU has as well. We will get into also, like we said yesterday, there was an open practice for LSU women's basketball. A lot was seen. There were some plays that really stood out. Mylasia Fulwiley, Jada Richard, Kate Koval, just some of the names that people were looking at yesterday at practice. And Kim Mulkey also met with the media. And I wanted to play this clip from her press conference to give two claps to this soundbite and Flau'jae Johnson as well before we talk a little bit about what was seen at the open practice yesterday. This clip of Kim talking about Flau'jae Johnson and what she's meant to LSU women's basketball and the Mulkey regime over the last 4 years deserves 2 claps. Here it is.
She was the first one I signed here, and really, what did we have to sell at that time? You know, we were just starting. I inherited a team that just had a tremendous year when we got here and hosted the first and second round games, and then signed Flau'jae, and you know, we had to compete against some really good teams. And then the amazing thing about it is, you're not going to see many kids anymore stay 4 years at schools. It's just not happening. And for her to stay all 4 years speaks volumes of how much she loves LSU. And I certainly will never, ever take her for granted. I will always, always have a special place in my heart for her, because she could have chosen some better basketball schools at that time. And she chose to come here and get LSU back on track. And her freshman year, she wins a national championship. And she's now played with USA Basketball, and that's a great experience for her. And along the way, she's been able to continue her career in rap.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the body of work that Flau'jae Johnson has at LSU, it's obviously impressive. But I think the best part is what she represents for LSU women's basketball. As much as Mulkey has changed what LSU women's basketball is, Flau'jae Johnson is kind of the one where you can look and say she is the player that ushered in the new era. As much like Andrew Reese was a transfer, and like Flau'jae chose LSU, bet on LSU, really didn't have to, like Kim said, and ushered in this new era. So 2 claps for Flau'jae Johnson. Ready. But there are a couple plays that stood out at the open practice yesterday. Mylasia Fulwiley, you saw a couple quotes about her. They're working her at the point guard position a little bit, which I know brought some pause to some people because it gave them flashbacks to the Haley Van Lith situation a couple years back, where it was an off-ball player kind of being shoehorned into the point guard spot. And people obviously don't want that to be the situation with Mylasia. I think the biggest difference with Mylasia is she has the SEC experience, obviously coming from South Carolina. It's not a big change in other things as well as position. For Haley Van Lith, it was a change in competition level, play style, all these things, and position. Mylasia, I feel like it would just be trying her out at point guard. But what Mulkey said was, she beat me too many times for us not to go get her. LSU fans already know her. They'll just be cheering for her this year instead of booing her. I kind of, not that I forgot that Fulwiley was a part of this team, but it's just like, I don't think it really clicked for me until I looked at some of the videos that they've put out from these practices, and I was like, oh yeah, I mean, it's like, it's the guard from South Carolina. It's whooped us for the past couple of years, and now she's wearing the purple and gold. But Matthew Brudet put out on Twitter, and this one I really liked, talking about the point guard position, talking about Fulwiley getting some work there, but this is a sleeper player that I want to just go ahead and get out now before the season really gets kicked off. As Kim Mulkey says, Jada Richard may be the one that's the most polished at that position, talking about point guard. And I saw a couple other people, I think Corey Diaz was there as well, and some other people that weren't at practice said that Jada really looked improved from year 1 to year 2. Obviously no longer a freshman, has a year of experience with Mulkey in college basketball at this level. I'm excited to see what she will look like going into her sophomore season under Kim Mulkey's tutelage and on this roster. You know, because as star-studded as it is, you don't have a true point guard, and that's who Jada is. And also, I mean, if you go back and watch some of her Louisiana high school basketball highlights, she was beyond impressive. And I'm excited to see how she continued to develop at LSU. So I just want to put that out there to have your eyes on Jada Richard for LSU women's basketball before the season gets kicked off. And the last thing I want to give a couple more 2 claps before we get into the LSU football conversation this morning. We missed this yesterday. We should have given Kelvin Shepard his flowers. 2 claps, the job he's done as the DC in Detroit, as he stepped in and took over for Aaron Glenn as he left for the Jets job. I saw this tweet that said, Kelvin Shepard said he lost sleep all week trying to prepare for Lamar Jackson, and he will sleep well tonight as Detroit sacked Lamar Jackson 7 times.
A record.
Monday night.
The most he's ever been sacked in a game?
I mean, I believe it. I mean, it's not an easy task to sack Lamar Jackson. And Kelvin Shepard and his Lions defense did that 7 times Monday night. Kelvin Shepard, obviously the former LSU great, back on that 2010 defense, that 2009 defense, just a stud. And he did his job as the defensive coordinator. So 2 claps for Kelvin Shepard. Ready.
And for losing both their coordinators, I know like we don't talk about the NFL a ton here, but
no, it's impressive.
Detroit's really, I mean, you couldn't, if you told me that Ben Johnson was still there the other night for that offense, I would have absolutely believed you. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't seem like they really lost
the drop off, right? That has not been
on both sides of the ball
what you've expected.
What's their record?
They're just fun to watch.
They're 2-1.
2-1.
They
Yeah, because
lost
I
to
know
the
early
Packers.
on they lost
to
a
the
little.
Packers week 1. Yep.
And that's when they asked, oh buddy, Man Campbell, they're like, are you gonna try maybe some of Ben Johnson's plays? And he's like, what? He's like, what happened to like the motions? He's like, did you watch us play on the road last year? And then the next week he puts up 60 points on Ben Johnson.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and then they go out and they take care of business against the
30
Ravens.
pressures on Lamar.
They were
crazy.
they were eating his lunch,
Yeah.
dude. Like, it was impressive Monday night. The next up in the 2 claps, and Christian, I'll let you chime in on this as well. Just the clip. Don't forget about the tweet that this is under. Bill Simmons put this out, but I don't really care what he has to say about the New Orleans Pelicans. What did you think of Skinny Zion yesterday, Christian?
I mean, we do this every year, but
But it looks
that
great.
did look different.
It looks great.
It looked different. It looks amazing. I see the jawline. I see the little facial. It's getting carved out. His arms look skinnier.
I
But
know. It's great. Like what I put next to it in the document was,
it's almost
they
like
pulled me back in. They
dude.
do it
It's
every
almost like
time.
they make him like cut like a UFC fighter before like the preseason press conferences because every year
Before
he kind
media
of
day.
looks like that.
Because he does look
I mean,
excellent.
Last year was the tattoos.
Right.
Now this year he actually kind of looks like he lost weight. So
Last year was a whirlwind for him.
It was.
Master P might have been cooking with him in the offseason. I hope that was the case.
Said they had him do some boxing stuff. He was out on the football field working out all these different workouts. Look at this guy.
And he worked out in New Orleans all season,
Yeah,
or
I mean,
all
he
offseason.
looks excellent.
I
Like,
mean, I think the easy answer here is just don't Ozempic. Like, why would he not?
I mean-
if the problem is eating, Ozempic makes you not eat, and then he's going to get in great shape. I think this is a great call for him, a good sponsor.
CVO, just wait until the king cakes drop.
But yeah, he
Lance
was not
James,
interested
quite literally
anymore.
the 7th time we'd have Skinny Zion. That's
Hmm.
the crazy part is I want to just not believe it and reject it, but I fall for it.
No, but like this one actually does. Like this one, like I don't know what we were thinking in previous years because we were tripping in previous years. Like last year he looked fat, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's skinny." It's like, no, you just haven't seen him in a while. That, come on, I'm not wrong. That one looks a little slighter.
No, I agree. Like I saw it and I was like, he looks
Like that slider.
He looks good. You know, he looks like
but
everyone
just
wants
not-
him to look like Duke Zion.
yeah,
I'm just not.
he says he felt like that.
I'm not.
You're not
I'm
gonna
not
drink the Kool-Aid?
I'm not gonna get excited. I'm not
That's-
gonna until
was
I
last year?
see.
Yes.
So this was last.
I mean, no, he does. He definitely
God,
looks.
I mean, it's
It
jarring.
is significant, but just and the franchise as a whole. I mean, as
No,
much
I'm
as
with
Skinny
you.
Zion,
I'm
it's
with
just
Bell's got a
like
better camera.
All that happened is they just scooted back.
They changed it. It's that Alex Jones.
Yeah, it is.
they tanned him.
But no, I mean, he looks. Maybe I'm just falling for it again. Maybe I just want it to work.
No.
So
I
bad.
do. I want it so, but it's. I almost feel like it's one of those things where the more you want it, the less likely it is to happen. So
I
I'm
know
just
you don't
gonna,
want to fall for it, but like, can you admit that?
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. No, I'm not saying that that's
okay, I
like.
agree then, because
but-
I
Yeah,
agree with you. Like,
I'm with you now. I'm on the. I think we're all kind of on the same.
I am not falling for
But
it
he's-
at all because he's probably not going to play in the first game of the season like he did last year.
Yeah.
or
Right.
6 years
I've
before
spent
that.
the last
But he does look
5
slighter,
years
so.
buying in on like, oh, the slight changes we made, or oh, it's the fact that we didn't make any changes.
No,
We're gonna
with you.
have
Dude,
like,
and the Pels do it
Well,
every
you
year.
know.
They're always doing this to the fan base, and it's like, guys,
No, they'll
every
get you
year.
going. That's for
These
sure.
are
So,
trash.
I'm
They'll
just
lead
gonna-
you on. They're
hold
they're
off.
breadcrumbing. Like they'll just drop you these little breadcrumbs to make sure you.
No
still want the
carbs.
roll.
Carbs are the enemy. We don't need breadcrumbs for Zion.
only grilled chicken.
But two
Right,
claps,
chicken
two
crumbs.
claps for Skinny Zion. Ready. And then last one. I didn't want to get anyone emotional this morning, but there was a move made in college football yesterday, and I wanted us to play this video to really get everyone in the feels for the move that was made, as it was a sad, sad day, as the Gundy era in Oklahoma State has come to an end, man. It was very jarring to actually see the graphic and it be real, because I've seen it for the last decade as a fake graphic.
right, and it's always
where
like,
it's
should he be? In the caption underneath,
Right, like
but
it's
it
always been,
actually.
should Gundy be fired, or Gundy is fired and it just ends up being like a burner account that posted it. Now it was real, and this video right here will take you back through the roller coaster that has been Gundy throughout his time in college football.
It's a platform for people that are sitting home drawing an unemployment check. How can you not take the trash out? And I told you for 2 years, if you walk by the door and there's a bag of trash, take the trash out. I'm a man. I'm 40.
That's my rental for everything.
Oh, it is?
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yeah. Well, I changed mine last night. I figured if he was going to use my ringtone, then I should certainly use his ringtone.
We can be as competitive as anybody in the country on any given day.
We want everybody in the country to know, with all due respect, we got a logo too. The sides that you get on Thanksgiving, you don't get any time during the year.
It started to sink in when I had to get up at 5:45 a.m. and be here before them and prepared for practice. It sunk in real quick.
But then when he did it, I said, oh, heck, I got to do it now. So when I got home, of course, I got it. Kristen said it made her kind of throw up in her mouth a little bit.
Where are you from?
I'm from Sports Illustrated.
Sweet.
I'll be farming. That's what I do. I don't know if I'm any good at it, but I like to do it.
I can't just sit on by a pool and just look around. I am a vacuuming fool, and I am a bathroom cleaning fool. I'm a closet Donkey Kong guy. So Todd and Wild Bill, they gave us a crash course in about a 15-minute period on the 3 defense mechanisms of a rattlesnake. You remember when in Animal House when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Well, I was in the Germans bombing Pearl Harbor, and one of the young coaches go, Coach, we don't play TCU. I'm like, well, if we played them.
I was concerned because it's been so long that I didn't know if I could still do it. But I can still do it.
Never say it ain't like it. That's my bedtime.
I double on Ambien. You do 10 milligrams?
Helps you sleep, huh?
I think so. I don't remember. Tropical Smoothie Cafe. I'd have brought a lot to share. Throw a little vodka in there, it'd been a lot better. There wasn't any vodka. That's from this morning. Spilled that sucker. I'm glad I spilled that smoothie on my sweatshirt. I almost forgot about Stride Stadium. And no smoothie tonight, just water, you get your ass kicked. You walk up next to a 5-foot Western Diamondback rattlesnake and you're not scared, but you're scared to jump out of a plane. Yeah, I am. And motorcycles scare me.
It's just an absolute. I can only imagine the entertainment that it was to cover that program and be sitting in, like, going to a press conference being like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
He could say
today.
anything.
He could be wearing anything. He could be saying anything, doing anything. Like, you genuinely had no idea.
Imagine being an OSU fan and going from Les Miles to him, and that's just been your reality for 20 years?
Over 20 years.
Over 20 years? You don't know what a regular football man is like. You just think that's how coaches are.
Right.
They just behave like that.
That's all I know.
It's just like, oh, they take off their shirts and they do bits and they eat different things.
They change their haircuts.
They change their haircuts all the time and they wear their clothes weird.
Yeah, the haircuts are also a jarring part of that video of just the roller
bangs?
coaster that's been, the different looks that he's had.
Manic. I love
But
it.
it was crazy to see that they'd finally pulled the trigger and made the move and fired Coach Gundy.
What do you think? What do you think he does next? You think he's done?
And somebody's going to hire him.
TV.
I mean, he would be excellent on television. Like, he's going, at some point, he's going to end up on television.
Yeah.
It comes down to when he accepts that coaching is over.
He's still relatively young. I mean, right? He's
no,
not,
I mean,
he's not
yeah,
the guy getting kicked out. Of,
he's not 40.
He's not 40
anymore.
I feel like you'll see him regularly on McAfee now.
He's going to be excellent. He's 58.
He's only 58. My
so
God.
I mean, he's not old.
I ain't going to the beach
whatsoever. And that's a part of the conversation is like, is this kind of the first domino to fall of the Gundy Sweeney coaching guys, like the coaches, because they're the ones that have kind of not gotten with the new era of the sport and have been left behind somewhat. And
Coached there for 20 years.
Right, and didn't want to change his process with the new era, and so that's what led to them losing. I think they lost to Tulsa last Friday night, which was kind of like, okay, if you're losing to Tulsa as Oklahoma State, it's not good. So, but he should definitely be on television. I know that for sure, and we'll see if we end up doing this same segment about Dabo Swinney sometime down the line. I don't think it'll be this season, but if he doesn't make that turnaround, give some positivity.
Why do he keeps antagonizing everybody?
Yeah, he keeps getting angry.
You know, it's like, fucking fire me. Then, you know, it's like, well, we might. Like, stop saying that.
Keep bringing it up.
But the big news yesterday, obviously, was that the future LSU. What?
Sorry, I just have to put a pin in this.
Put a pin in it.
Gundy conversation. I mean, if he doesn't lose to Iowa State, the way that you feel about his the former head coach that he coached with, Les Miles, is totally different because you probably have 2 national championships where they would have matched up with Oklahoma State as opposed to Alabama. And so...
No, when I saw that clip of him talking and it said
that.
2011 at the bottom, I got angry sitting there thinking about it again.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I mean, that's the butterfly effect of it all.
Yeah, they lose, and it was a Friday night game. Lose to Iowa State 31-37. Then they win. What are they in the Big 10, Big 12?
Big 12.
Big 12 championship, dog walk Oklahoma.
Yep.
And beat Stanford. And it's kind of like what would have been, because you only have one loss, and they were so quick to throw Alabama back in.
Oh yeah, I mean,
didn't play in a conference championship.
Nope, didn't have a 12th win. Was 11-1 going into that. LSU's 13-0. Oklahoma State's 12-1.
And it's it's Bama.
Oh man, it is frustrating looking back.
It would have been that would have been a more fun game to watch too. Oklahoma State's offense that would score.
Watch that game.
LSU
would have scored points.
They scored 70 points against Kansas. Like they were.
It would have been offense versus
one of the best defenses in college football
history
versus a very good offense at that time. Was that Brandon Whedon?
I'm not gonna remember. They've had so many guys that all kind of seem the same. I guess he was the oldest by far, but
yeah, Brandon Whedon.
Yeah,
Justin Blackman.
Yeah, I knew Blackman. I vividly remembered that. But yeah, I mean they had Josh Cooper.
What a weird program.
No, I mean it would have been fun to see that game. Probably because you
in New Orleans,
another ring on your hand. But the news yesterday, LSU's future SEC schedules announced. I want to get everyone's reaction, the chat as well. If you didn't see it, 2026, LSU will face Texas A&M at home, go to Arkansas, back to Oxford. Then they'll have Bama at home, Mississippi State at home, Texas at home. Then they'll go to Auburn, to Kentucky, and to Tennessee. So those are the 9 conference games next season. At home, you will have A&M, Alabama, Mississippi State, and Texas. And then away, you will have Arkansas, Ole Miss, Auburn, Kentucky, Tennessee. 4 home games, 5 road games in conference play next season. And then in 2027, A&M, you play in College Station. You have Arkansas at home, Ole Miss at home, Missouri at home, Vanderbilt at home, Oklahoma at home. Then you go to Florida, to Georgia, to South Carolina. There's the schedule there. I want to get just one thing that stood out
so weird
to
graphic.
Everybody. It is. It's kind of hard to see. Would have been nice to put maybe just a little bit of a shadow behind.
A little drop shadow, some contrast.
To get some contrast, be able to see it a little
graphic
bit better.
Design. Never hurt anybody.
It probably got stuck on putting the pylon together.
Yeah, I mean, like
they
the
took
image
too long
looks great
on one element, and then
yeah, but
Adderall
it's
zoned in on the tiger head.
It's a little too bright in the background.
the saturation in the stadium.
You will play Alabama at home in 26. You'll go to Alabama in 28. You don't play them in 27. You will be
fixed it.
Nice. So I just didn't know what, if anything, at all stood out to anybody. What stood out to me is the home slate for 2026. You'll have A&M at home, Alabama at home, Texas at home, and also Clemson at home. So those are 4 pretty big matchups in Death Valley next season.
It's as good.
That's as good a home slate.
As good a home slate as you possibly
those are
really hope for.
Could be massive football games in Death Valley in 2026.
And I was a little unsure when they first announced all of this, and then I kind of liked the permanent matchups more than I think a lot of people. But now I'm really digging the symmetry of this whole thing. The fact that it's basically a repeating schedule. It's the same teams, but you're flipping the home and away. It's easier to keep track of.
Right.
It's kind of like that'll become a tradition into itself. It's like it's this season with these guys, it's this season with these guys. We keep our Alabama and Florida games in alternating years. I think it's worked out really nicely, much better than I was anticipating.
I'm not the biggest fan, but I agree with you because I think also the SEC got the scheduling right, and they kind of made every schedule kind of the same difficulty. You see a lot of teams, like you're not going to play 2 monsters in 1 year, guaranteed. Like you might play 2 monsters, but they're not going to be guaranteed every year for you.
Right. I mean,
You're
you're going to have
nicely.
the yo-yo teams that are going to be
right
elite certain seasons, and not. But I mean,
but it does suck how Florida is on the downfall, and you're going to miss out on them. And Alabama also kind of seems the same way. You do play them for the next years, but you do miss them.
Yeah, it's not yearly. Another thing that stood out to me is I'm so glad because I really thought if with Texas on the schedule next season, I thought they were going to send LSU to Austin. Like I anticipated it. Even though LSU played in Austin, obviously in 2019, I anticipated the first time LSU and Texas faced off in conference, it was going to be in Austin, Texas, and it wasn't. Obviously, Texas will come to Baton Rouge in 2026 and play in Death Valley.
I mean, not only do they
Yeah.
owe us one, but we got seniority in the conference. You know, we should get it first.
Of course.
Fuck
But you
them.
saw in baseball, they send LSU to Austin instead of sending Texas to Alley Box. And now, Texas in baseball, Texas isn't even returning that game this season, which is
They seem to skedaddle.
so stupid. But
And that's kind of the thing that I like about this is that you're
gonna have the home and
guaranteed
homes. Yeah.
that reverse. It's not like the baseball schedule where it seems kind of scattershot every year.
But football was like that for a while too, where you just didn't know it was no permanent opponent.
Right.
It was just like, oh, I guess we're playing Auburn this year.
You'd go like 4 years up playing Georgia, you know, and then
Like, oh, they're back on the schedule.
they're back
like,
on
how
the
did they
schedule.
decide this?
okay.
You're right. And for the Texas crowd, like the 2019, we went to Texas and they put us in the rafters and they made the band walk up the steps. Like, and they didn't come in 2020. It's like, did you want to play that Texas team in 2020? Did you want to play anybody? Like, they would have the ultimate, like, okay, cool, 2019. They would be the one school that'd be like, what a flash in the pan that was. We played y'all literally the next year.
Right.
And they would have beat us by 50. Like, LSU was incompetent that year, so it's probably better that now you get your look back for an LSU team that's going to at least be competent in 2026.
Schedule kind of come out and see what's going to happen. Like Andrew Messina says in the chat, I love that you will have Auburn LSU again next season. It's been too long since you've played that game because I think when we were talking about it yesterday, kind of the rivalry opponents games where you've got Ole Miss, you've got your Florida, you've got your Alabama. I think Auburn is right there as well. Or that's a game it's got the historic memories, it's got the historic matchups, and it's one of those games that is special, and it's been gone for a while. And you also have Mississippi State LSU return next season, which isn't kind of a contentious rivalry game, but it's a game that's been played forever.
What's the most? I think we played
I
the
think
most,
so.
right?
Yeah, that wasn't played the last 2 seasons. The Katie Allgood Bowl, Mississippi State and LSU.
When you look at this schedule, which season would you say lines up the best for you to be able to win a national championship?
2027.
That's what I thought too.
I mean, I think obviously going to Texas A&M is always a tough matchup, but they're a permanent opponent, so there's no you can't that game's getting played. But you get Arkansas, Ole Miss, Missouri, Vandy, Oklahoma all at home. What is South Carolina? What are South Carolina and Florida going to look like in 2 seasons? Not sure.
Right.
You know, like South Carolina, I think will obviously still have
Lenore
Beamers,
Sellers,
but they won't have Sellers. Florida, who only God knows what Florida's going to be in 2027.
Yeah.
And I think the toughest thing is going to Athens and playing Georgia, and
Georgia's going to be Georgia still.
And Georgia's going to be Georgia whether you play them in Athens or at home. And I mean, if you lose one conference game, you're in a really good spot.
That's what I was just doing, the mental gymnastics of looking at this schedule and going, oh, but you always have Alabama. I was looking at where the loss is.
Right.
You go at Georgia, it's like, oh, but you also have to play Alabama. That could be too. It's like they're not on the schedule.
And when you look at what LSU could look like in 2027, that would be, we'll see what happens with some of the sophomores on this team, but that'll be DJ Pickett's junior year. That'll be Lamar Brown, Richard Anderson's sophomore season. Just go down the list of guys. Harlan Berry's junior year could very well be wearing number 7 in 2027.
I don't know what LSU's going to look like in 29, obviously, but 29 looked pretty favorable. You have Georgia at home in that one.
Yeah, it's
Bama.
It's the flip side of the 27 schedule.
I mean, you have Missouri, Oklahoma, Vandy, and A&M, and by the looks at it right now, I would take that this season.
Yeah, no, 29 is
you're playing the same teams.
You're playing but now it's flipped to where you're playing
them at home.
The tougher ones at home. I feel like, besides maybe obviously A&M and A&M is still away that year anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I think the reason I didn't pick 29 is because don't know what LSU's going to look
It's
like
impossible.
in 4 years.
You look where we were.
Yeah, I didn't know
look where we were
taking
5
into
years
effect.
ago.
Right. No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
What LSU's going to look like in 27? Because with the portal and everything, I don't even know.
No,
if
yeah,
can
we
count on
can
Barry
say
and
we know what
Lamar
the
Brown and-
team's
yeah.
going to look like.
I mean, half
but
of
you
our
don't.
defense wasn't here last year.
Yeah, right.
You know, so in 2 seasons, it's
But I think when you look at those,
But in
just the
terms of, like,
schedules
just
like Lloyd asked,
Who's gonna be
powers.
punting in
just
27?
powers that we right.
2027 was the one that caught my eye.
Badger.
But don't forget, every single day we are brought to you by CAS Roofing and Advising. Our guy Pierce Patterson from over at CAS Roofing and Advising. They take such good care of their homeowners, and they do really good work as well. Make sure you give them a call, 225-910-0619. He will drive out, hop up on your roof, check it for you, free inspection to make sure you are in good shape. And if you're not, he'll let you know how to move forward and walk you through the process. So make sure you call 225-910-0619. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to set up the phone line this morning. We're going to let you guys call in. A little surprise. Let some of you guys know Sabrion's going to be fired up.
Hunter Hall.
We're going to let you guys call
Dongle
in.
day.
A little dongle day. Let you guys call in if you want to ask about this weekend, talk about the schedule, whatever. We will have the phone lines open right after this.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, God.
AS Roofing. We don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's repair, a replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
Was created in honor of Alan Ward Granning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez, where the po' boys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
Hey, Miss Lou, come visit us, Tom and Wright Branding at Go Martin on the Go Deli.
Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need.
Located at the corner of Highland Boulevard and Highway 61 South in Natchez.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff.
Where everyone is family.
All right, welcome back here as we are going to open up the phone lines and hear what you guys have to say this morning. The phone number is 225-267-7191 is the number. Call in. Let's talk football. Let's talk basketball. Let's talk life. Let's talk SEC schedule in the future. Any questions you've got, takes you've got, call in. Let's hear it. 225-267-7191 is the phone number. Call in this morning and let's hear what you've got to say. As I know y'all have been waiting for the phone lines to get back open. Wednesday, I feel like, is the best day to make it happen. Nice little middle of the week recap thoughts, preview thoughts. 225-267-7191 is the number. Call in and let's hear what you've got, whether it's questions, takes, Ring Mr. Ting. That's a good one, Lloyd. Good job. And now you've got a lot of people on the microphone. It's not just asking me and Lloyd questions. You can ask Kinfolk a question. You can ask C-Man a question, how to pop off on Twitter, and maybe his relationship.
I can help you with that now.
Maybe
apparently.
his dating life also.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've been
help
updated.
with.
So call in 225-267-7191, and let's talk LSU football, whether it's the future schedule or LSU Ole Miss this weekend, as it is a big-time matchup on Saturday. We'll have Jacques Doucet at 8:15, so we want to get these phone calls in before we have JD join us this morning. Andrew Messina, Monday is when the phone lines need to be opened. I'm with that. Monday's just a tough day for us because it is a content-full day, so it's difficult to have the time and availability to pop the lines open. But I think Saturday we'll open them up at Golf Suites as well, and we hope you guys will be there in person also, as we have our first caller of the day as Lloyd gets it lined up. As we're going to talk maybe a little football. LSU Ole Miss this weekend. Get a feeling of the chat and the crew, what everyone expects this Saturday. Good morning. What you got for us?
Good morning, Fonzie. What's up, fellas?
Fonz, what's up, buddy? What you got?
Hey, I got some questions for y'all. No, we don't like going back a week, but I got a question about why didn't we give another offensive lineman a run at right tackle when Weston Davis was struggling as much as he was?
Yeah, I mean, I think, one, you obviously, with him being young, you want to allow him to continue to get reps because that's how he will develop. He played a half, and then he sat for the second half. You saw Chester go out there, get reps at right tackle, and you also saw Kern out there at tackle. So I don't think it was they did a bad job in the way that they broke down the reps on Saturday, because you don't want Weston Davis to get in a spot where he is just losing all the reps and he's not developing at all, because at some point you're going to need him, whether that's now, whether that's next season. And as of right now, he's your right tackle, so you want him to continue to get reps. And that was a great game for him to have the opportunity. And so I do understand, not getting maybe another guy out there sooner or letting another guy get reps with the first team. But I thought Chester did. They put Chester out there at right tackle with the first team offense, and then you saw Kern later on in that game as well. So I kind of was a fan of how they used the timing of those guys and the rep amount for the three right tackles on Saturday.
Who else would you want to see there? Did you have anybody in mind?
I would have had Kern give him some run with the first team, not waiting until later in the game whenever Southern is, quote unquote, not pushing as hard or fighting, and they have some of their other guys come in. I would have had him at least get some snaps in the second quarter. I'm not saying have somebody else completely substitute for him, but at least give somebody else some run with the first team and running with that.
Yeah, no.
You can't tell me that during the summertime, everybody was talking about how these freshmen that have coming in are phenomenal, and they're getting run with the first team at practice during the summer and spring, and now all of a sudden you got an offensive lineman who's struggling. And I understand that he needs to get time, but I also understand that all we're doing is we're giving film for other teams to just load up that right side. So what are we going to do? Change our offense to just run left? Always do run left, because you can't run right.
No, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I think, I think right now they are in an interesting position, and right tackle is obviously something to be looking at over the coming weeks. Because you don't know the current situation of who's going to get the run. I think they're obviously it's something in-house that they're looking at. But I think what tells you with Kern, and I think Kern stood out from a physical standpoint over the offseason and over the summer, because, I mean, that's the first thing BK said about him. It stood out to us as well. But there's obviously something they're seeing in practice that is making them hold back on playing the true freshman, and obviously BK talked about how willing he is to do so because he did it with Emory Jones, did it with Will Campbell. Those guys are just different. And so I don't think it's the physical thing with Kern. My assumption would be it's probably the mental aspect of getting the young guy out there. And so I think what you've seen is right now Kern is the third guy at right tackle. If they were to make a move, it seems like it would be DJ Chester, which is why they put him out there in the opportunity they did. So I think at some point maybe you'll see a change. But, I mean, if you're worried about film getting put out there, there's no guarantee whoever you put out there next is going to look any different.
Yeah, and you don't have DJ Chester for a whole half.
Right. So
that's right, because the ejection. I forgot about that.
The targeting on the field goal.
The field goal.
The targeting, yeah. Another thing that I will bring up is something that I've bitched about for a year and change is how our offensive tackles are not in a quote-unquote aggressive stance. They're sitting in a chair. They're kind of sitting back, and then they're catching every defensive end that runs or rushes at them. They're catching them. And now, after the first couple weeks, now you see our tackles actually in an aggressive stance. They're actually sometimes in three-point stance, sometimes they're not, but they're more leaning forward to where they can explode off the ball and run. So I think that the coaching staff is seeing something. They're actually making an adjustment, which makes me feel better at they're actually trying to do something. So who knows, now that we have our offensive linemen and actually in an aggressive stance and being able to attack off of the ball instead of catching people, we may see something change in the run game. And the other question about the run game is, why do we not run outside when you have a track star like Durham and Barry? How are we not running outside? Why are we running everything up the effing middle?
No, I'm with you. I think that's something that we talked about. I think it was last week after the Florida game, of just the consistent runs between the tackles when you have the dynamic athletes and not getting them out wide.
You saw it in the last game where they featured it on ESPN, like on the call, where Caden Durham is the one that's cutting it back and cutting it up. He's not following the the path or keeping the train on the tracks, as they said. So this could be a running back in Durham that is so used to making plays by himself because he's never really had an offensive line that could run block, that he feels like he's out there alone, where he leads. I think he leads the SEC in yards after contact, and it's happening behind the line of scrimmage. So I think it's twofold, where he doesn't trust or see being able to get outside. He wants to be able to get as many yards as he can by cutting it up and maybe just taking a 4-yard gain as opposed to stretching it out, it being 2nd and 12 when it could have been 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7. That's just what I see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody else knows this, but if you get 4 yards of play, that's a first down. I don't understand. I don't understand why people are like, why aren't we running for 700 yards a game? You need 4 yards of play. That's all you need. That's all you need. And this game, this week, is the game that you need to focus on worrying about getting 4 yards of play. I don't give a shit if somebody has a season career or a career game or anything like that. I want 4 effing yards of play and rhythm. That's all I give a shit about.
No, I'm with you. I agree. The 4 yards of play and the rhythm I love. And I think the biggest thing for me is 3rd and short. You should be able to turn around and hand it off and get 2 yards because you're LSU football. And I think that's been my biggest concern run game-wise, is the fact that they could go and get 5, 6, 7 yards on first down, and then on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, they're not able to turn around and hand it off because they just can't get the push up front. That's where my concern is more than anything else, because you have the ability to do so many things offensively. You got to be able to run on 3rd and short. So we'll see what it looks like, but good questions, Fonz. I appreciate you calling in.
Yep, y'all have a good one, boys.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
There he is. Shout out to Fonz getting in this morning, getting those questions in. And I think with the run game and the offensive line as well, right tackle is obviously something to be looking at over the coming weeks, because BK said that the job's not up for grabs. I think that's something that I feel like is coach speak in the highest standard, because that's instilling confidence in your guy. Because I think there's no way that it's not where you're at right now, where it's very, very tough to say that the current situation is something that you can continue to do at right tackle. So we'll see how it continues to develop. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Sabrion calling from the top of a roof, man.
Sabrion, what you got for us?
Hey, man, I think this game plan here, we need to exploit that Ole Miss defense and letting us rip it. I mean, he looked pretty good last game. If he's actually finally healthy and all that stuff, I think we need to throw the ball downfield a little bit more, see if we can get a little screen games and all that stuff going, and kind of just exploit them a little bit up front and in their secondary.
Yeah,
I don't think they have the players to be able to cover us on offense.
No, I agree. I mean, I think this is a game that you've had after Louisiana Tech and after Florida. You circled Ole Miss of the 20 points. You know, it might get you past Southeastern. It's not going to get you past Lane Kiffin's offense because he's going to be able to score. So I think this is a game offensively that you've had circled, and now with the rhythm you saw against Southeastern, you're expecting to see that again. And I think Ole Miss's defense will create opportunities for LSU to be able to take advantage of those things. Because they're not, they're not Florida and they're not Clemson. I think both of those defenses are considerably better than what Ole Miss has. And my biggest thing and my vote of confidence in this game is I think LSU's defense is better versus Ole Miss's offense than Ole Miss's defense is to LSU's offense. You know, I think if you're going to look at the weaknesses of the two teams, LSU's offense is better than Ole Miss's defense. And so I think when you look at the two weaknesses, it creates confidence.
Yeah, I think that Ole Miss offensive line kind of has the same kind of troubles we have. They have a lot of miscommunications, and with the experience we got up front, I mean, I think we can really put pressure on whoever quarterback they play because, I mean, both of them are inexperienced in the SEC and facing a defensive coordinator like Blake Baker. I mean, I don't like their what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't like their chances with going against Blake Baker. No. You could put your trust in Lane Kiffin, but I mean, at the end of the day, he can't make the plays on the field. He just calls the plays.
No,
I like our playmakers versus their playmakers.
I'm with you, man, and we'll get into the playmakers this morning as well. But no, I'm with you. I think that Blake Baker can cause problems because Ole Miss's offensive line has left a lot to be desired from what I've watched in the last 3 weeks against Kentucky, Arkansas, Tulane. Their offensive front has not been impressive, and I also think kind of with what you were saying, this is the week that if someone's take has been LSU's kind of been holding back the offense with a Nussmeier injury or not trying to show too much or just placate to the defense, this is the week where it would be, hey, let's open it up, let's see what you can do. This seems like it's all kind of pointing towards now is the time to really see what this LSU offense can do.
I'd also try to see if we can get Caleb Jackson in some open field opportunities and kind of exploit them too a little bit, you know, like make them earn it, man. I mean, I like to get the running game and all that, like Paul said, but I mean, let's make them earn it this week, dude. I mean, I don't think they have the talent wise. I mean, they spent all their money last year on talent, and it still didn't really work for them. But I mean, let's exploit them. Let's call damage.
Yeah, no, I think if you look top to bottom roster wise, LSU's considerably better than Ole Miss is. I think that the confidence that can come from the Ole Miss side is around the quarterback and the play calling. But I think when you go athlete for athlete, LSU definitely has the advantage. And I think Caleb Jackson is an interesting part. And like I said, when we talk about, I have Caleb Jackson underlined in the playmaker discussion for later because he looked good against Southeastern, and I think there's potential to work him into some really good opportunities moving forward. So we appreciate your call, Sabrion. Good to hear your voice once again on this Wednesday morning.
Hey, one more thing, man. We need to start Stewie and go fund me for a new car.
Yeah.
Or at least get his car fixed.
It's the second time we've tried this.
Get that man a ride or a bus fare or something.
If you guys want to put it together and fire it up for us, we'll definitely promote it.
It's unbelievable.
What is wrong with his car?
I don't even know what happened.
I don't know if he's a bad driver or what the hell is going on, but it's a problem.
God. Oh, God. All right, guys, I appreciate it.
Appreciate you,
back in.
There he is, Sabrion Green, calling in this morning. He loves the phone line, and you see why. Great questions, great opinions from both Fonz and Sabrion so far this morning.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, my name's Lance from Lafayette.
Lance, what you got for us?
So I know y'all kind of touched about Perkins. I think maybe it was yesterday. but I really feel like this is his game right here. This game kind of reminds me of that A&M game last year where the defense played too well. Then they kind of brought in that running quarterback, I think Reed. I find this is very similar, where we didn't have Perkins to spy. I feel 65-75% of his plays are going to be spying. You know, he may drop back a little bit, just kind of confuse him, but I think that this is his game to just watch that dude. Wherever he goes, that's where you're going. What y'all think?
No, I'm with you. I think this is a Perkins game. We talked about Trinidad Chambliss yesterday. He's obviously extremely talented with the football in his hands, and they run the hell out of him. I mean, it's 15 carries, 14 carries, and he's rushed for over 100 yards this season. So they're going to run him. He's dynamic, and that just obviously lines up to be a Harold Perkins game. Like, what are you going to do to stop a mobile quarterback? Yeah. He said it in the preseason pressers. They asked him, like, what's your job when you're playing a mobile quarterback? And he said, don't let him run.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be I'm with you 100%. I think it's a Perkins game.
Well, also, it's the D-line's ability
I also got
to disrupt,
a couple
right?
questions for y'all.
Make him one-dimensional. Yeah, sorry, but that
what y'all do y'all know anything about Chris Hilton or what's going on with him? Is he's in the right place or what's going on?
No, I mean, I think
I remember seeing.
I think you've seen his effort. Like I don't think I've seen a drop off in Chris Hilton's effort whatsoever. He's been really good on special teams for you. He went out there, and I thought he played well Saturday night against Southeastern. He had a couple of catches. Should have had a touchdown if there's not a defensive pass interference on that game. And I think the conversation is probably a little bit different if it's not DPI and it is a deep threat catch for a touchdown. Because I'm with you. Like, you obviously haven't seen the Chris Hilton you've expected to see. But I think that there's just been a lot of factors that haven't allowed for that. And I think it's something that as the season progresses, you hope to see continue on. So I don't think it's a Chris Hilton problem. I just think there was an obvious stress on the offense that didn't fit Chris Hilton's play style. You saw him open it up a little bit on Saturday and looked good. He had a catch on a comeback route. They set up a little screen for him and the deep shot, which showed the level of wide receiver he is. And I hope to see more Chris as the season goes on.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard to question his effort whenever he's still out there running down as a gunner on punt and he's running down on kick. Like, he's clearly still trying to make an impact. And then you saw what you want to see Chris Hilton do against Southeastern, where it's just one-on-one. I'm faster than you, and whether like in the NFL, that's a legitimate way to, get yards and get closer to the end zone. In college, there's no reason not to grab him because it's only 15. So if you think you're beat by Chris Hilton, just grab him.
Right. And I was thinking, like, because with last year, his headspace may not be right because, receivers there, they're known to be, or the stereotype is, they're divas or whatever. Right. But, I think that the fact that he's still blocking and he's still trying, that really shows where he's at. Right. Because, let's be honest, if you can't do that in the pros, I don't care how fast you are, how good your hands are or whatever. If you're not willing to block, if you're not willing to do every single thing, you're not going to be used. So, everybody goes to LSU. That's your overall goal as a pros.
No,
I have okay. I got a little thing about this West Week shit, dude.
What you got?
All right. Look, I'm not trashing this girl, right? She needs to stay away. She got Walker Howard in trouble. She got him kicked out of Ole Miss. All right. I think she's being used as a honeypot to get in people's head. And look, why is it coming out now? Look, she's trouble. Whit Weeks needs to watch it. All right, he's our sweet prince. Okay, he cannot be messed up in the head with this. Well, why is this shit coming out now, huh?
I can answer you that. Look who her father is. Like, you don't think that she's been played mind games with her entire life? Like, this is how she was raised. Now they're dropping documentary.
And I think the documentary is probably more of the draw, like the answer.
He's pimping out his daughter, and that's wrong.
I think the documentary is really the answer to why it came out now. It's a great promotion for the Lane Kiffin life doc that came out of like, well, now you kind of get an inside look at the
dynamic.
The dynamic, and it came out that she's dead. But I think on the Whit Weeks front, I don't think you have anything to worry about. Whit Weeks is see ball, get ball.
No.
And I think it's football over everything else. Like, football, 1, 2, 3,
he's a
4,
dog, dude.
Landry Kiffin 5.
The conspiracy
Right?
side
No,
of me,
he's
though,
I think he's an animal, and he's not going to let none of that sweetness, get to his head. But that stuff is wrong. It's just you can't mess with a man like that.
Do you think Brian Kelly lets him stay?
All right, man. Well, I got to head out, but look, I want to thank y'all for taking my call. I got to say this also. Jonathan does not get enough credit, dude.
Oh, there you go, Kinfolk.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Lance. Appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate y'all adding him. Stewie coming back is great too. I love the random shit that y'all talk about too. So y'all keep it up, man. Y'all doing good.
We appreciate you, Lance. Shout out to Lance. Good call there.
All right, man.
I felt an emotion.
Oh, there you go. How sweet.
That's so nice.
Keep missing Luke. He keeps calling in, then somebody calls in right after, so there's nothing I can do about it.
It's okay. We'll see.
Oh, and look, it just happened again.
It's all right.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hunter Holland, Huntsville. It's Sunday, and Cal is officially out of the playoffs. 2 claps. I tell you, hey, to answer that last caller's question, Chris Hilton, the only thing hurt on him is his feelings. No doubt about that.
I mean, we know Alabama knows about divas at wide receiver, huh? We got
does he need a plushie?
A plushie on the football field.
Hey, sometimes you're a wide receiver a little bit too zesty for your liking, and that's what we got. Oh man, I'm about tired of it too. That and all the drops, but whatever.
We don't want his fingernails to get. He don't want his fingernail paint to spread. It's got to dry first.
What color do you think he's going to go with Saturday? Red or black?
Who y'all playing? Georgia?
Playing Georgia.
Oh, he's going to do both. Alternate fingers.
Blackout.
Yeah, I'm going to be.
How convenient. How convenient. Wow. I'm a little bit nervous heading into that one, though, honestly. I'm sure the anxiety for the team's probably through the roof, but, probably 3 is not enough if you're a Georgia backer. But, it should be a good one. Ty's going to be trying to up his Heisman campaign, so
okay, that's for sure.
Living for Ty Simpson stuff.
No, I mean it's an interesting spot.
What do y'all think about these?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's an interesting spot for Alabama to be in after kind of the way everything's dropped after the FSU loss, and now you're lined up with Georgia only as 3-point dogs, and
3-point dogs.
Pun not intended. But kind of seeing where you could really turn the whole season around on Saturday.
On Saturday, I mean, and y'all got it too on Saturday. I mean, it's just a huge game. Next thing you know, you've got a loss in the column, and or you got 2 if you're Alabama, and
right.
The season's then you really got your back against the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've only had 4 weeks, and it kind of feels like it's already been an eternity at the same time. But hey, that's what I guess you guys know really well, losing 5 season openers in a row.
Mm-hmm.
How that feels. So.
Yeah, we know. We do. We know.
Against the wall.
Hey, what do you think about these? What do you? I mean, obviously, you guys have dealt with these SEC refs just being awful. I mean, we got a $300 million TV deal. If you do all the ticket revenue off 16 SEC schools, that's like $600 million. Put that together, that's $1 billion right there. And this is the SEC officiating that we have. I mean, just to be told, sorry, our bad.
Yeah,
I mean, that's inexcusable.
No, I'm with you. I think when you have the resources the SEC has, you should do. But I think the biggest thing is they never have to be truly held accountable for anything. Like, yeah, you put out a statement and you apologize, but what does that even mean? Like, I'm still of the referees, officials should have a press conference. They should be able to be asked about calls. They should be able to actually have consequences for their actions, maybe some repercussions.
They would cry up there.
That's why do it.
I mean, they should lose games, like if you fall beneath a certain threshold of correct calls, they should
be fined.
They should be fined or suspended, like just like anybody else.
Thrown in prison.
They should be executed by the state.
Tarred and feathered.
Jeez.
If it's a death penalty state,
you know,
put them down.
You're asking Saints fans, Pelicans, LSU fans what they think of referees.
You know, I feel like y'all are on to a really good idea with that targeting 1, targeting 2.
Yeah.
15 and an ejection for 2, like flagrant 1, flagrant 2. I mean, it's same thing. I mean, you just got to get that right. And
I agree.
You know, you guys can't go to Ole Miss down 1 offensive lineman, but whatever. Hey, 40 days till tip-off. Question for kinfolk before I hop out of here.
Oh shit!
Did JD ever show up to trivia at the Bulldog? And why did he no show?
We're trying to get today at 8:15.
That was awesome. That's the correct way to ask a question. Thank you. Well, I was sicking out last week, so we're gonna pressure him today, and we're gonna get a date on the books, and then he'll no show.
Rekindle.
We'll rekindle. But no, we'll tell him that the people
all
are
right,
asking
y'all
for
have a
it.
good one. Talk to you soon.
All right, thank you,
Appreciate
Hunter.
you, Hunter.
There he is. There's our resident Gump, our resident Bama fan.
Y'all know what it's
Hunter
like
Hall.
losing 5 games in the opener. Hey, what if
Yeah,
you didn't have
nice.
to take a shot, Hunter?
But it's nice that we can all agree that referees should be executed.
No, I mean that's one thing that an LSU fan and an Alabama fan can tie their
shake
flags
hands,
together
yeah.
of we hate officials. I mean it's just, and I agree with them. Like I mean you look at that Oklahoma
What is
Auburn
he?
game.
What did?
Like there should be a consequence for that call against Auburn, more than just hey.
Sorry, missed
my
it.
bad.
My bad.
That's on me.
Well,
Like
you can
it's like when the last minute report used to come out by the NBA, or like they would go through all the calls of the last minute of the game and tell you where they were wrong. Like I remember I asked Will Wade about it one time. He was like, nobody wants to see that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to know where you were wrong. Maybe get it right. I was like, yeah.
Well, if you're gonna do that, then it should come with some sort of consequence. You know, like if
Right,
the NBA
right.
finds that hey, you got 6 missed calls, you know,
The last
over
minute.
2 games, it's like, okay, then you don't get to work these games, or your name is out there at least, because like
Right.
we don't know the names of these referees for the most part. You
Yeah,
know, like,
no, I mean the fact that I
the
saw
fact that it's
Bill
the same guys
Vinovich on my TV Monday night is unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's never been one consequence for the Nola no call.
I would say this: it's
Bill Vinovich.
less the referees. It's more so the league's fault that this is like there's refereeing issues. Like these guys aren't even full time in the NFL. Like they go do their own thing in the off season. They should be required to go to like referee school. There should be younger candidates brought in to do like referee.
should be like the FBI basically, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
you know, you
it's a
spend the
high enough
off-season, like,
position.
it's
you are-
Quantico.
There's enough gambling now that I feel like there's enough money on the line to where you need to like actually invest into this and make it like a full-time job with. I don't know if they have pensions or health care and all that, but they kind of need that, and it needs to be like they need to have like a mini camp for referees. They need to have like a off season, like you go to this facility, this NFL facility for this month, and you literally just work on refereeing.
And the
You know, I
reason
actually
that
think that's a great idea.
the reason they don't do that is because they don't have to.
Right.
They don't have to. You're still gonna watch, and they're gonna get to save them.
Yeah,
and
well-
they're not gonna have to spend the money.
Yeah, we'd have to put $500 million into a referee program. Have to put out, like you said, like salaries and pensions, and I was like, or they could just do it because they like it.
Yeah.
They volunteer to do it.
No, I remember there was one time we went to an LSU football game, me and my family, and then after we went to Outback Steakhouse. And at the table next to us were the officials from that football game. Like the referees from the football game were there. I vividly remember seeing Matt Austin because, you know, he's just easily recognizable. Now he's the TV guy that gives you the – well, guys, I really agree with everything you're saying.
Shut the fuck up, Gene Steratore.
Like, I'm not going to add anything to your breakdown. Not going to give any expertise. I'm just going to agree with what you say.
Right.
And the call on the field was excellent.
I'm with you, fellers.
But I remember I look over the table and it's Matt Austin right there, and I'm like 12 years old, and I start fuming.
Yeah.
Like, no. That PI was bad, Matt. You need to know that.
Yeah.
Give me your blooming onion, Matt. You don't get that. You don't get to have it.
You don't get a good day from me.
Take his butter away. Take his butter away.
Good day.
No good day for you.
Good day, Matt.
Hope they overcook your steak. Also, he's like, what 12-year-old knows my name? This is a nightmare.
But JD is about to join us this morning, 8:15. We have reached 8:15. We're going to you want to take a quick break? You want to go straight to it? Straight to it. Let's go straight to it as Jacques Doucet, the sports director from WAFB, has joined us on this beautiful Wednesday morning. Everyone's favorite segment as JD joins us. JD, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Noah, Jonathan, Lloyd,
hello,
great
sir.
to be with you this morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Always a pleasure. Let's get started with back to Saturday as LSU kind of opened it up, dominated the way they're supposed to against a Southeastern opponent. Some of the things I think we were kind of looking for in that type of game, I think we saw. What were your takeaways Saturday night against the Lions?
Well, before the game, I think we kind of talked about it, that it'd be nice for LSU to go out, score 35 points in the first half, move the football, score some points for a change. As we know, LSU only had 5 touchdowns through their first 3 games. That's exactly what they did. The first drive looked pretty bad. They lost 7 yards on the first play of the game and had to punt a 3-and-out. But then Nussmeier and the offense they threw the ball well. They did not run the ball maybe as well as you would like. You know, when you play a Southeastern, you like to see somebody break off a 40-yard, 50-yard run. But Juwan Johnson did the job there, scored a couple of touchdowns. Defensively, nothing much different there. You know, you are playing Southeastern, an FCS team that is getting paid $750,000 to drive 35, 40 minutes over from Hammond, America, and they know they're going to lose. But still, to hold a team to 30 yards in the first half, that's about as dominant as you can be defensively. I don't care who you're playing. And so that was very good. So, yeah, all in all, I was a little surprised to see Nussmeier come out and take one more series after halftime. I thought that would have been a good time to shut him down, but let him on another touchdown drive. Bauer Sharp, the former Southeastern Lion, who was there for 3 years and then went to Oklahoma. Very nice touchdown. Auditioning for the track team. Nice hurdle into the end zone. That looked good. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to move the needle with the fan base when you play games like this. It's, you know, you can always tell how big the game is by the traffic or lack thereof in Baton Rouge. And I certainly drove right into work Saturday and drove right home. So, you know, I guess it was a decent crowd and still a little hot out there. Definitely not feeling the fall yet, but they did what they needed to do. And now it sets up a huge game. And, you know, 2 things can be true. LSU has done everything they can do so far. I would consider the wins over Clemson and Florida still very big wins, but there's also a question of how good is this LSU team? I think that's a legitimate question to ask, and I think we'll get some more answers this weekend in Oxford.
Definitely. And sticking on Saturday, one more question. I just want to ask you about the quarterback position, both Garrett Nussmeier and Michael Van Buren, the 2 quarterbacks that you saw on the field for LSU. Obviously, Nussmeier's QB1, locked and loaded. He looked comfortable. He looked healthy. Looked like he was back to, I said it earlier, he looked like 13 again, because since he's made the number change, he hadn't looked quite the same. He finally looked like the Nussmeier we remember. And I think Michael Van Buren won the fan base over as well in the second half.
Yeah, I thought that Nussmeier's touchdown to Xavier Thomas near the end of the first half was vintage Nussmeier, you know, roll right, then whip out a 180, roll left, and throw the touchdown. That's what he does and does well. The whole injury thing has been very interesting. The fact that, you know, on 2 Mondays ago, it's revealed that he's got this, and then a few days later, you know, he's back to what he was. You know, I mean, we never really had time to process what it was or what was going on. We all, you know, the world was ending on August the 5th or whatever date that was. Phones were blowing up with a torn ACL and all that stuff, and that was a big nothing burger. Yeah, you would like to see him push the ball down the field a little bit more. They haven't really – I mean, they've thrown the ball down the field, but, you know, I think a storyline this weekend to watch out for is, you know, Chris Hilton said he got his hands on the football and could have won the game for LSU when they lost in Oxford in 2023 in that crazy shootout. And it would be nice if LSU could finally, you know, slip that guy behind the defense and throw him a 50-yard touchdown. That'd be good to see. But, yeah, Nussmeier, what was he, 273 yards passing in about 3 quarters or so. And then Michael Van Buren did a very nice job off the bench, going 10 of 12, throwing a touchdown to Kyle Parker. I think, obviously, LSU was much better at the backup quarterback spot than they were a year ago with A.J. Swan. And so no matter what year it's been, I think since Brian Kelly has been here, the backup quarterback has had to go into the game and play some significant football at some point. So it's always good to have your backup ready, and certainly he's not a guy who's going to be too wide-eyed. He got a lot of playing time at Mississippi State and some big arenas and some big spots. So you think that he'd be ready to go in and help you out if needed.
Turning the page to some news that came out this week, the permanent SEC opponents came out on Monday. LSU draws Arkansas, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. You're our resident LSU historian, so I wanted to get your take on those three being the teams selected and teams like Alabama and Florida being left out.
Well, Arkansas has always been an interesting thing. You go up to Arkansas, you watch the local news, and you hear them talking about this is our biggest home game of the year, this is our biggest rival, and LSU's never been able to counter that. I mean, we all know what kind of reputation of the boot is. It's kind of a joke, and this big gaudy trophy. And I like going to Fayetteville, especially in the fall. It's a beautiful place, if you like fall and leaves changing on the trees and all that. It's good to go in October. It's not good to go in November when it starts to freeze and it's very, very uncomfortable. But, they've always been kind of, I don't want to say a quirky fit, but it's been really hard to drum that up as a rivalry, even though Arkansas has beaten LSU their fair share of times. Ole Miss, that makes sense. Certainly that goes back to, my parents and their parents before, back to the Billy Cannon days when LSU Ole Miss was the game in college football in the 50s and 60s. And then Texas A&M, I guess they're trying to, when A&M joined the league, I think the SEC made an effort to kind of conjure up this border war. This, now once Texas and Texas A&M were no longer playing each other, LSU and A&M played on Thanksgiving a couple of times. I remember Ed Ogeron, that was the night in which they said Tom Herman was getting the job, and that Ogeron got the job a couple of days later in 2016. So that game has always been a game growing up. But yeah, I think the LSU Alabama thing, I don't want to say it's lost some of its luster, but with Saban no longer coaching them, I think some of the intensity has gone away there with that game. Florida, certainly, you've been playing them for a long time, every single year. I don't know of many LSU fans who really enjoy going to Gainesville. Typically, when you talk to them, they don't like the place at all, which is so crazy. Growing up, you think the University of Florida, I was very naively thinking, beaches and water and everything, and it's basically Tuscaloosa with palm trees, So it's not, it ain't South Beach, right? So I don't know how strongly I feel about it, just for the simple fact that now in this new league, you're going to play everybody home and away within 4 years, and I think that was what was broken with the model, and the fact that people would talk about what's the best SEC town to go to, what's the best road trip, and oftentimes people would say Athens. Georgia's the best road trip. It's kind of the essence of college football, and LSU hasn't played there since Zach Mettenberger was throwing the ball to Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry back in 2013. And Tennessee is another one that a lot of people think is one of the best trips, and LSU hasn't been there since 2017. I think Danny Etling and company were in the rain that night. So that's what you want to see. You kind of want to move it around and your fan base go visit all the different venues, as opposed to, the way it used to be. We're going to Starkville every other year. We're going to Fayetteville every other year, Tuscaloosa, College Station. Now you're going to go to your Columbia, South Carolinas, your Columbia, Missouris, the places you used to have to wait a long, long time to visit. I like that aspect of it.
No, I'm with you. And speaking of venues, let's talk about Death Valley. And next season, LSU will have Texas A&M make their way to Death Valley, Alabama, Texas, and Clemson. That'll be 4 massive football games in Death Valley in 2026. I want to get your thoughts on playing those 4 games at home next year.
Well, it's been a long time coming for Texas. Certainly LSU, as we all know, on the big 3rd and 17, one of the biggest plays of the 2019 national championship season in Austin. And then Texas was supposed to return the trip the next year in 2020. this thing called COVID comes along, and they didn't make the trip. So finally now, after all these years, they're going to be coming to Baton Rouge. I know LSU would like to, if they could, take all their tickets and stick them up in the nosebleed like Texas did to LSU in 2019. But I think there's some SEC rules about that they can't do that. I think they may be doing that to Clemson because it's a non-conference game, and LSU only got 500 tickets in the lower bowl. So it looks like a pretty dynamite schedule. I think certainly better than this year's home schedule, and so that'll be exciting. I guess the question is how many. So you got an uneven number. You got 9 SEC games. So does LSU have? I was a little bit busy. I was at St. Charles Catholic Quarterback Club and at Kim Mulkey's practice yesterday and doing a few other things. Does LSU have 5 home games or 4 in the league next year?
They have 4 home games, 5 away games. They'd go on the road to Arkansas, to Ole Miss, to Auburn, Kentucky, and Tennessee.
Okay. Well, there you go. Auburn, I missed that trip. I think that, Jordan-Hare Stadium, Auburn, I think that's like the essence of college football, too. It's kind of like Clemson. It's this little small town, and it's got this huge stadium in it. And, I always like going to Auburn. I think they do a really good job. So, I'm glad that's back, and the Tennessee trip will be cool. So, yeah, I think this goes back to maybe a little bit, too, of, Brian Kelly sometimes getting animated and a little worked up and maybe feeling the pressure that, they need to do something this year and make the playoff because things aren't going to get any easy moving forward. I think a year from now, he'd like to be saying, well, cut me some slack. We made the playoff last year. And if they don't make the playoff this year, I think that's a legitimate question. When will they make the playoff? You've got your veteran quarterback. You've got, as Lane Kiffin said, the 3 most expensive defensive backs that were in the portal. LSU got them all. Your defense is highly, highly improved. You have a very, very good roster, and so I don't know if they're going to wind up 10-2 like a lot of us predicted, but certainly they need to make a playoff and get in this year.
When you look at the 2 team schedules between LSU and Ole Miss, obviously before the year, I think people would have said the wins that LSU has garnered, whether it be beating Clemson or what they've done so far up into the year, being able to. I guess they didn't score the way that you'd like them to, but they've played well, being able to beat a Florida team before the year that was probably highly regarded. Now, if you look at Ole Miss's wins, which one would you say has more impressive wins up to date as of the 2025 season, LSU or Ole Miss?
So Ole Miss has beaten Arkansas, and who else have they beaten?
Kentucky.
They got it.
And Tulane.
Yeah. I think Tulane this past weekend is a combination of Ole Miss played really well, and I think Tulane kind of feels like they flubbed. They didn't play nearly as well as they could have. I think Tulane, they went into that game only a 10.5-point underdog, so Tulane was viewed to be competitive, and they weren't. They couldn't score any points, and certainly Chambliss threw and ran all over them. I think that LSU probably going into Clemson as their season opener, and then Florida's got a lot of talent. I know people who know football say that. They offensively, obviously, they've struggled and haven't been able to score any points, but they do have a lot of defensive talent. I would lean towards LSU. That their wins are a little bit bigger, despite the fact Clemson struggled and Florida struggled. Arkansas, I watched them this past weekend. They had a 28-10 lead in the Liberty Bowl and are on the 7-yard line, about to either win the game with a field goal or a touchdown and fumble the game away. So I know they're 2-2, and Sam Pittman. I think everybody really likes Sam Pittman, but it looks like he might be on his last leg there in Fayetteville. So I would lean in the way of LSU, although I think once again we still don't really know how good they are. And my big thing about this game, if you're LSU, is where are the rushing yards going to come from? Caden Durham, when healthy, has not been getting a lot of yards. He's got an ankle thing, right? And then, Caleb Jackson, they complimented him and said he had his best game. But, from what I remember, he was kind of catching a couple swing passes and doing a couple things against Southeastern when the game was already decided. Trey Holly's over at Southern. Lindsey's still in, as Les Miles would say, illegal entanglement. And, Jawan Johnson, I don't think he was brought to LSU to run the football and maybe be a big offensive piece. But after looking at the way he played this past weekend, he does make people miss. And, he does give a little shake. So is he going to play a pivotal role in LSU winning this game this weekend? I think that LSU has, somebody put this to me, said, I think LSU has neither a great offensive line, neither a great running back, and that's kind of a bad combination. Maybe they can prove us wrong between now and the end of the year, but, I think we detailed it pretty well. If you go all the way back from Billy Cannon and through the 80s, your Dalton Hilliards, your Gary James, your Harvey Williams, your Kevin Fox, your Cecil Collins, your Leonard Fournette, Darius Geis, Jeremy Hill, Stephen Ridley, we can go on and on. Do they have that running back there that you say, hey, it's 3rd and 1, here we go? I'm not bagging on Caden Durham. He's only a sophomore, and he's done a lot of great things. I just don't think the running game and the running back room is where it needs to be right now.
I agree. And talking about Saturday versus Ole Miss, what do you kind of expect in this football game where you've got a high-powered offense? Obviously, a lot of eyes are going to be on the chess match between Lane Kiffin and Blake Baker. What are you looking forward to Saturday versus Ole Miss?
Well, it's going to be an intense atmosphere. I think it's the fans are told to wear red, so you're going to have a whole stadium full of red. It's not, for those of you who've been there before, it's not College Station, it's not Bryant-Denny Stadium, it's not the Swamp, it's not Tiger Stadium as far as how loud it gets, but it's pretty intense. It's funny to look back on the stories. I remember Matt Mock told me in 2003, he's on the bus, he looks outside, and a 7-year-old gave him the bird, flipped him off. And he's like, this little 7-year-old flipping me off, and then I think Nick Saban said that he'd never got so many one-finger salutes in his life as when they went to Ole Miss and won that big game against Eli Manning in 2003. So, hate is a word you don't like to toss around, but Ole Miss and their fans have no love for LSU. I know there's a lot of families that are, that are married in, LSU fans marrying Ole Miss people, vice versa, but I still think there's a lot of intensity there, and you think that LSU should beat Ole Miss, the whole runt thing, but certainly LSU the last 2 times they've gone over there, they've lost. And so I think that, like you said, I think we finally, I don't say finally, but Blake Baker's defense last year, different personnel for sure, but certainly struggled against your Marcel Reeds, your Milroe from Alabama. The running quarterback obviously gave them fits and propelled them to lose 3 games in a row. And certainly this year they shut down Klubnik pretty good, but this guy looks like Chambers, looks like he can run a bit. And so I think that's a big thing to keep that guy from rushing for 100 yards and keep him in the pocket and just see how really good this defense is going up against a Lane Kiffin offense who, will do a lot of things to wear out your defense, make them run side to side, score a lot of points. I mean, I could believe it and I could not believe it when I look back at the 2023 box score. I certainly remember Ole Miss scoring 55 points against LSU, but the 706 yards was just, staggering. The fact that LSU gave up 706 yards to Ole Miss in 23. Scored 49 points on the road in an SEC game and still lost. That was that, and I think Kelly has referred to that as definitely the low point in that defensive or lack thereof regime. So I think the question is, LSU scored 49 points that day. How many points can LSU score this time around if the running game isn't going and you got the crowd up against you? Can LSU score 30 in this game and win it? I think that's the question. LSU's a 2.5-point dog in the game. They're not supposed to win, but if they can somehow win and get to 5-0 at the bye and rest some people up and then continue to attack the gauntlet, they're obviously in great shape.
LSU has played 4 games up to this point, and this year they've given up 781 yards in 4.
There you go. Great. That's great research, Lloyd. I didn't do that research myself. Look at you, just popping that thing out like that, popping those stats out. So, they intercepted, 5 passes against Florida, and I think as a team they intercepted 6 all of last year. Right. So it just goes to show you. And Olsen certainly deserves his share of credit. The safeties are intercepting passes back there. The Deshaun Spears and Halsey and Cooley have done their job. Yeah. So I think everyone deserves their share of credit there in that defensive room.
And all right, JD, I got one change of pace. Since you were kind of touching on what you like about the schedule change, getting to go to all of the venues that we haven't been able to go to in a while, what is your favorite, in your estimation, the best toe-to-tip SEC experience? Like stadium, game day atmosphere, food, the city itself. Like, which one is your number one?
Oh, the best one?
Yeah.
Well, the most quirky by far is A&M. They do things that nobody else does, but I give them credit. I mean, 2022, they were going nowhere fast, and they filled up their stadium, and it was loud, and they punched LSU in the mouth. I think their fans are pretty loyal. They've got some very quirky traditions. Tennessee hadn't been there a whole lot, but they're on that river right there, and they got what they call sailgating, where people are on their boats, and then, like I said a couple weeks ago, I was watching Tennessee and Georgia. I think Tennessee does an amazing job with their visual presentation. You watch a game on television at Tennessee, the way they do the checkerboards and the way the fans are wearing orange and white in different patterns, and it really pops. And those are great fans. Athens, I've only been there one time, and so I'd like to go back and kind of go through that again. I think ESPN College Game Day was there the one time we went in 2013. Gainesville's not high on the list. No. Alabama. Alabama's laid out the way I wish LSU was laid out. The stadium's right there. Then you've got this main drag, and they basically have their Tigerland right next to the stadium, which is cool. Well, you got all your bars and restaurants right there. So the pick one is going to be hard. I know I'm really, being wishy-washy on you there. Columbia, Missouri, I've been there twice. I went in 2020 when Miles Brennan got hurt during the COVID year when they couldn't get in at the 1 yard line. That's a beautiful place. If you're into fall and, hills and mountains and leaves changing on the trees and all that, that's a beautiful place to go to. So cool college town. But I didn't really answer your question, but I would think that Tennessee and Georgia may be towards the top of the list. I can't really put either Ole Miss, Mississippi State,
Florida.
Some of
There's
those.
A lot of duds in the list.
Florida,
Arkansas.
up there.
Alabama,
Arkansas. Arkansas is a pretty place to go. It's just always been freezing cold most of the time. The worst road trip ever, I think, we went up there in 2014, and that's when LSU lost 17-0. The week before is when LSU should have beat Alabama, when Kendall Beckwith got the fumble recovery at the 5, and then Vidal Alexander got the penalty. Game went to overtime, and I think Kiffin called the play where the big guy lined up a tight end and caught a pass down to the 1. And that was a rough one. Then the next week they go up there, they miss a short field goal. I think Leonard Fournette had like 9 yards on 5 carries. Arkansas had lost 17 straight SEC games. That was Brett Bielema. They stormed the field, and it was freezing cold, and it was just terrible. That was a really bad trip.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that some of these are like they're colored by terrible experiences that you have, so you actually don't remember the cities fondly at all. But yeah, South Carolina. I like that one.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you.
Oh, don't worry about it. Nothing. I'm just talking.
Well, JD, we appreciate you all the insight this morning.
Trivia. You're not off the hook on that.
Yeah, we got a big week ahead. We shot a feature with Blake Baker's family. We interviewed his wife last week, went to his home. We're going to have a nice feature on Blake Baker this week. I also interviewed Will Muschamp and Skip Holtz. Skip Holtz was, of course, Lou's son, and won a lot of games at Louisiana Tech and coached both Blake Baker and Joe Sloan there as his assistants, and so we'll have that. Kevin Baptiste and John Eads will be anchoring Sportsline Friday night, this Friday at 10:10 p.m. We've got a lot of games. We plan on getting highlights and scores on the air, and LSU men's basketball has their first official practice and press conference today. We'll be out there at that, and thankfully there's no home Saints game for us to cover this week, so we'll
You're not
circle back.
Not making the trip to Buffalo?
No, Lloyd, I don't know if that's something I can really pitch to the station, and a good use of our money, a good use of our funds. It's like I don't know. It's like spending $2 million on your third string deep snapper or something. I don't know if that's
but he's
good
a good
idea.
Time. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. You'd be punting a lot, right? So, it's the coverage that that guy from Buffalo is like he was just running by himself out there, just trotting down the sideline. That was, I know expectations for this team are not high, but still, that was shockingly bad.
That was one of the most pitiful performances I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah, it's not a good way to spend your Sunday afternoon.
Not at all. It really puts a damper on the day. But JD, we appreciate you, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, guys. Thanks.
There it is. Thank you, Jacques Doucet from WFB9 Sports. Great insight, great interview as always. As he joins us, talk a little ball this morning. We will take a quick break here as we've rolled right through hour number 2. We'll break. We'll come right back, and we'll talk a little bit about LSU Ole Miss right after this.
The roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's repair, replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
Wardo's was created in honor of Alan Ward Branning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez, where the po' boys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
Hey, Miss Lou, come visit us, Tom and Wright Granding at Go Martin on the Go Dummy.
Go Martin has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need.
Located at the corner of Highland Boulevard and Highway 61 South in Natchez.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
All right, welcome back this morning as we close out hour number 2 here on this Wednesday before LSU Ole Miss. We're going to get back into the football conversation to close out this morning. A quick run through of the Ole Miss and LSU playmakers here, as there are some guys that definitely stand out. Before we get into it, do not forget this weekend I'm going to consistently repeat that we want y'all there on Saturday at Golf Suites, 2:30 p.m. kick. LSU Ole Miss will be live, watch partying, the whole thing. It's going to be a great atmosphere. I remember the one time that for baseball, I think it was, I don't remember which game it was, but they played one of the games. I think it was West Virginia. Game 1 was at 1 p.m. that day, and that place was packed. The atmosphere was awesome. Good food, good drink, good football, hopefully, and we'll be live. The atmosphere was fun. The last time we were there during the day, we want to do that again this Saturday, 2:30. Make sure you make arrangements and you are at Golf Suites on Saturday for LSU Ole Miss. A couple of guys that
real quick, you just have such a good slate.
Yeah, all day.
College football games, and they got, you mentioned the Ryder Cup, but they have a ton of TVs, so you can watch Notre Dame, Arkansas, if you're going to get there at 11. USC, Illinois at 11. Auburn, Texas A&M, 2:30. Ohio State, Washington, 2:30. Obviously, LSU, Ole Miss, 2:30. Tennessee, Mississippi State, and then you have Oregon, Penn State at 6:30, and then Alabama, Georgia at 6:30. So you can make it an all-day affair.
All-day affair, and we'll probably be there all day. I mean, we'll get there and we'll set up. We'll be rocking and rolling through the 2:30 slate, and we expect to see you guys come hang out with us. We want to see you guys there. I don't know how many times I can beat the table.
Come drink a beer with me. I'll be drinking water, but you can have a beer.
There you go, our underage intern here. But we'll all be there. We want you there with us.
It'll look like Canada Dry, though. The water will look like Canada Dry.
Oh, it's that brown water.
Ginger ale. Brown water, Central Louisiana. We were in high school.
Advisory.
We were in high school. Brown water was coming out of the water fountains at school. Yeah. And I was like,
make you tougher.
That's just what I've always said. I said, they asked, why did Central win the state championship? I was like, it's that brown water.
Yeah.
Those kids, they were probably
raised on it.
They were in kindergarten when that brown water was coming out of the water fountains. That's just how it goes.
And they probably took a lot of Tylenol.
Trim M, that's in Baton Rouge. Yes, sir. It's off of Segan Lane. Is where Golf's we just located. It's right off Segan Lane. It'll be the bar upstairs. We'll be there, so we want to see you guys there. Ole Miss, LSU playmakers. A couple of guys that caught my eye for Ole Miss. Obviously, running back number 5, Kawan Lacey. I don't know specifically how to say.
They always have similar names. LSU. They all
they have a Perkins.
They stole Perkins. Smith. They have a Perkins.
Yeah.
They stole Walker Howard, and then this guy Lacey. They have a Lacey.
Kewan Lacey, 5'11", 210.
No, it's Kyron Lacey. And now it's R.I.P. Now
Long
it's Kewan Lacey.
Kewan Lacey, number 5, the running back. He's 5'11", 210 on the year. He's got 79 carries, 358 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's averaging 4.5 yards per carry, and he is a transfer from Missouri. Quick thing on him, what stood out to me was with Simmons at quarterback versus Kentucky, Lacey got the ball 28 times for 138 yards and 1 touchdown. And then with Chambliss versus Arkansas, he got the ball 17 times for 44 yards and a touchdown. So obviously Arkansas's front performed well, but he got 11 less carries with Chambliss in at quarterback, which obviously to me would have to do with the fact that Trinidad runs the way he does. So he's a guy that stood out to me, number 5 running back, Kewan Lacey, 5'11", 210. He's pretty impressive. He's got good speed, really good in pass protection. They want to get him in space. They run some swing pass stuff. He catches out of the backfield really well. He's patient. He's strong. And then they also have 2 other running backs behind him. One, Logan Diggs, as LSU fans would remember, played on that 2023 offense. He transferred to Ole Miss. He's number 22. Then they also use Damian Taylor at number 12. So those are kind of the spell backs for Lacey. But Lacey's their guy. He's their featured back. They're going to go to him consistently. They also do some direct snap stuff. What I said was that he's a really good fit for what Kiffin wants to run. The biggest thing is the offensive line struggled against Arkansas's front, and they didn't make lanes for Lacey, which is why he was 17 carries for 44 yards. But Lacey's impressive. Did anything about Lacey stand out to anyone else? Anyone? That's all right. Next up, the wide receivers that stood out.
I didn't hear the question. I'm sorry. What'd you ask?
I didn't know if Lacey stood out to anybody, if anyone else.
Oh, I thought, that was a great breakdown because of what you saw the stark difference between when Austin Simmons was in and when Lacey was in. That's Ole Miss's calling card has not necessarily been the run game, but everything leading up to this year, I went and watched some Ole Miss breakdowns, some guys that cover the team, and going into it, he was very high on his reputation for Ole Miss.
Yes.
But he was saying that with Austin Simmons, it feels like they're going to kind of change the offense to run more, 2 tight end sets because they have some other playmakers out there. And it was more to cater toward the run game with the young quarterback in Austin Simmons. Then you see him go. And by the way, watching the Arkansas game, Simmons is hurt.
Yeah.
It's not just an ankle. It's he can't really move.
Right.
Because we were talking about the throw that he made at the back of the end zone when he had to come in. He threw it like that because he can't move his feet.
Yeah, and then he limped off the field.
And then he fell.
Yeah.
And so you're going to see Chambliss. That's why you have Lane Kiffin going, if he's 100%, he's the starter. Well, he ain't 100%, so he ain't starting. And so you will see Chambliss. So we'll be back to this dual threat type of quarterback that LSU hasn't really had success against, and you can't say that I don't think you can put Cade Klumnick in that same
not at all
argument as what I saw.
You haven't seen a quarterback like this guy since Milroe.
No, Klubnik can run if he has to.
Right.
But this guy's
this is
a legit dual threat.
Yeah.
Well, and I think Klubnik would have 15 carries in the game. It's just that he doesn't.
That's also
LSU put him in a box.
Right.
Like
and
he's not explosive enough to be able.
No.
He couldn't run with that defense, and that's what you're hoping you see again this week.
Yeah, I agree, and I think Lacey's a really good accent to him in the backfield. 5'11", 210. They run. They have really good chemistry. Him and Chambliss, from what I've seen, and he does really everything well. I don't think he's exceptional in any realm, but he's really good at most things. I think his pass protection is what stood out to me the most, as he's really good in pass pro.
They don't seem to
keeps him on the field.
Throw the ball a lot to the running backs, right?
Yes, they do.
They leak him out the backfield.
They swing it out. They throw it out to. They want him in space. They want 5 in space. They do run him between tackles, but they want him in space. And he's a threat. I think it's just kind of their offensive line is what they're making up for a little bit.
Okay, yeah, so the numbers aren't.
Yeah.
I think it's always concerning what Ole Miss has a running back because, you saw what they had with Quinshawn Judkins and then Ulysses Bentley. When they have a running back, they can really turn it on, especially in Lane Kiffin's offense. I feel like.
He wants to run it.
Yeah. And this guy and Lacey fits the offense really well.
Yeah.
Like he's really good at everything they ask him to do.
But he's not as
he's not a game breaker.
Terrifying as like Judkins was from
well,
just like a physical.
I even think I was more scared of Ball going into Florida than I am of Lacey going into Ole Miss.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest difference is the play calling.
Yeah, he's in a functional offense.
Kiffin's going to use him really well. And he fits what Kiffin wants. And I think that also goes into the wide receivers. These two guys really fit the offense extremely well. Number 2, Harrison Wallace III. Trey Wallace, 6'1", 200 pounds, 16 catches, 343 yards, 2 touchdowns. That is 21.4 yards per catch. He's a transfer from Penn State. They run these RPO hitches where it's just quick. If you are spaced off, which you're not going to see on Saturday. Like when the DBs are giving cushion, they just run a quick hitch, get the ball to these guys in space. Mm-hmm. That's not going to be the case on Saturday because LSU is going to be right here, press man up on their wide receivers, not allowing that to happen because they want it in space. Harrison Wallace is kind of more their deep threat guy. Some ways got really good hands. They'll throw it to him downfield. I've seen them throw the 1v1 fade ball to Wallace a couple of times. He's got really good instincts once he has the ball in his hands. And that's same for the other wide receiver we're going to get to as well. Another kind of interesting stat line with Simmons, Wallace was 9 catches, 147 yards, and a touchdown. And with Chambliss, he's been 7 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown. So still very good with both, but there's been a considerable drop-off from Simmons to Chambliss. And I think that has a lot to do with the other guy I'm about to bring up, number 11, Deuce Alexander, 6 foot, 180, 14 catches, 249 yards, and a touchdown. That is 17.8 yards per catch. He's a transfer from Wake Forest. With Austin Simmons, 6 catches, 85 yards. With Chambliss, 8 catches, 164 yards, and a touchdown. So a pretty large difference from one quarterback to the other. Deuce Alexander also 7 rushes, 68 yards. He's their gadget guy. Mm-hmm. He is fast. I put fast in all caps. He's extremely fast. They use him similarly to Xavier Thomas, a Barian Brown. Go back to Florida, Eugene Wilson. Like they use him as that gadget guy. They just want the ball in his hands. They get it to him fast. When the DBs are off, like I said, they'll just run a quick hitch, get it to him. He's got really good instincts. It was a lot of quick hitters with Austin Simmons. With Chambliss, you've seen him stretch the field a little bit more, Deuce Alexander. So number 2 and number 11 on the outside are the guys to look at. They also have Caden Lee, number 19, Dejon Stribling, number 1. Both really good. The one thing that stood out to me as well with these guys, and this is why they fit Lane's offense so well, they block really good downfield. Like if you look at some of the Chambliss runs or some of the Lacey runs or even some of the deeper the passes that get broken off, they block really well downfield. These guys do a lot of things really well. All 3 of the guys I've named so far, Lacey, Wallace, and Alexander, fit Kiffin really well, fit this offense really well because, one, they're fast, they make plays, but also they block extremely well, whether it's pass pro or downfield.
So that's what I was kind of noticing about these guys is that, like, when you look at the rosters from just a strictly talent standpoint, right? Clemson and Florida have more impressive athletes. You know, they're more highly touted guys.
Yeah.
But these are dudes that fit a system very deliberately.
I agree.
And so it can be hard to kind of like, if you're just looking at them on paper, you know, to say like, oh, why should we be afraid of these guys if we, you know, bottled up these.
Right.
Well, it's because these guys are here to do a job based on the guy that's very, very particular about who he's bringing in.
Yeah.
And so I think it can almost be kind of easy to overlook them in some cases, but because, you know, it's like they're 3-star guys, they're transfers, they weren't just stars of other schools, but it's like they're going to come in and they're going to.
They fit the system.
They fit the system so well.
And that's what I wrote at the bottom when I kind of recapped the whole group. I still have the tight end left, but they have the weapons that they want, and the play style fits the strength or vice versa. So they were brought in, their strengths fit Lane Kiffin, which is what I think this is. Like, he went, identified guys that have the strengths that fit what he wants to do. But the way they play, like I said, like it goes hand in hand, fits what they're really good at.
Yep.
And so that's kind of the dynamic. The biggest question mark to me is the offensive line. That it's just not, they're just not very good. And I don't mean to be, you know, just blunt about it, but from what you see on film, there's not an impressive group. And it kind of holds this offense back, and it's especially in the run game. A guy that stood out to Lloyd and has stood out to me as well, tight end number 8, Daquan Wright, 6'4", 255 pounds.
He's all of it.
8 catches, 213 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's a transfer from Virginia Tech.
And we know they make good transfers.
Yeah, he's a really good athlete. He's not a consistent weapon. Like, he's not somebody they go to often. But when they do, it ends up being a big play. It feels like every time.
Don't forget about him.
Yeah, don't forget about it, because he is a really good athlete. They run him on some deep crossers. They'll do some RPO stuff with him as well. They had this play they ran against Tulane twice, I think it was. It was like a tight, or maybe it was Arkansas. It's like a tight end, like a leak out. Like it was a slow delay handoff, RPO kind of thing. Tight end looked like he was run blocking, and then Daquan just kind of slipped right,
Released,
popped
yeah.
right out, released. They missed it in the end zone, but then they hit on it later in the game for a big gain. Because he's a really good athlete when he gets the ball in his hands. Like, he's 6'4", 255, moves extremely well. But then one thing I want everyone to pay attention to, if they motion 8 into the backfield, he's going to be a lead block for a quarterback draw. They've done that consistently. So they go, motion, Daquan gets into the backfield, looks like a running back, but it's the tight end. Usually that's going to be a snap, lead block for a quarterback draw. They do it often. They do it well.
One hell of a lead blocker, too.
It is.
That's a big baby.
When they do it often, they do it well. So it's a really good group. Like I said, they fit Lane Kiffin in this offense extremely well, and that's where the concern can come from, is that they might not pop off the page and really maybe catch your eye consistently. They're really good at what they're asked to do, and that's kind of where the Lane Kiffin part comes in. But to me, LSU has the guys to shut this down. I'm very hesitant to get nervous on the outside with guys because of what LSU has at defensive back, whether it's safety or corner. I think LSU has the advantage there with these guys. I think Daquan Wright is an interesting piece for them, how they use him. I just don't think they use him consistently enough for him to be a threat. And I think when it comes to Lacey, I'm going to be really intrigued because Lane is not going to stop running the football. That's kind of what I think, the way LSU shut down the run in games. They made Clemson stop running it. They made Florida stop running it. Lane is not going to stop handing the ball off. You've seen times where their run game has been bad. He is still going to call that draw play. He's still going to call a toss sweep or a counter. They are going to run the football. I'm interested to see how this defensive front handles Lacey and the consistent rushing attack that Kiffin's going to bring. And Lacey, Diggs, Taylor, the other guys they'll mix in as well. That's what I'm interested in this matchup. But I think the LSU defense has the players to bottle these guys up and take care of business. As good as they are, and they are good, and they fit the scheme well, LSU has dogs on that defense, man, and they have answers to all the questions that can be raised by these four guys I brought up. They've got answers to all of it, and so I'm confident going into this game. I was not overly impressed with what this offense is. I think the potential of them is high. They have the pieces. They fit the scheme. I think their offensive line really is lacking, and that holds them back. And I think LSU's defensive front is so good that it can cause a lot of problems.
If we weren't playing shameless, I'd feel a lot more confident. That's the one thing that, because the kind of fear I have based on this skill group and that quarterback is the defense is going to come in and do their job, but with a Kiffin offense, they're going to get their shots in. Like you're not going to shut them down completely all the time, right? There's going to be that broken play. There's going to be something where everything just gets executed correctly, and you know they get that big run. And if we can't score and we give up two of these well-designed plays to these guys who know what their job is and know how to take advantage of any sort of mistake, that's what could make this game a lot trickier than it should be just based on talent.
Could look up and it'd be 10-0, 14-0 very quickly.
Right.
I mean, look at 2022. Now that defense is not to this level. That's the best defense up to this point you've had under Brian Kelly's tenure, and they went down 17-0 in that game quick, or like Lane Kiffin did it like that. If your offense comes out flat, and that was kind of the struggle in 22 was your offense would come out flat. Now, what happened in the second half of that game? I think LSU ended up winning 45-20 in what ended up being a blowout, where the defense came out in the second half. Joe Fouché one-handed pick in the end zone, Harold Perkins breakout, Bijo Jalari played extremely well. It was a really good game, but it started out Lane Kiffin in the blink of an eye, 17-0.
Yeah.
And then they scored three more, and you shut them out in the second half. And that's when you were talking about Matt House's second half adjustments. Before that just went down the hill. But I do think they can score on you quick and put pressure on your offense. You have to be able to respond.
5 plays, 75 yards in a minute and 37. Scored a touchdown.
That is Lane Kiffin, man, and it comes from. You don't have the ability to be dynamic because you got to line back up right now. Like Jackson Dart was sprinting down the field to get back in the shotgun and take the snap.
And then you try to hit him with it and they fake an injury.
Fair enough.
Can't do that
Fair
anymore.
Enough. Nope, not anymore. Kiffin's going to bring challenges. I just think when you look at it on paper, their playmakers versus ours, offense, defense.
Did y'all go over Judkin's stats from 2 years ago?
From 23? It was probably
22.
Crazy. Oh, 2022?
25 carries, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's not going to happen with this defense. These guys, they're extremely talented. They fit the offense well. Kiffin is the only part that makes me nervous, along with Chambliss, but I think that this defense can do things to him because he's inexperienced in the realm of this level of football. Kiffin is an extremely good play caller, and I think if LSU's offense doesn't come out with some sort of rhythm, and you kind of play into Kiffin's hands.
That's the part I'm more concerned.
Of course,
I'm cool with Blake Baker and the LSU defense.
Of course,
you can only hold back.
But if we go,
you can only bottle Lane Kiffin up
for
so
long.
much.
We go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and they put together these weird little drives and keep our defense out there. Then it's like that's where things can break. Just regardless of how talented our guys are, regardless of how good Baker is at scheming.
Kiffin is that good.
Yeah,
he is. I don't want to make it seem like we're putting Kiffin on this pedestal, but he's a
no. But I mean, you have to be realistic about the strengths of your opponents,
caller.
man.
And you know, since Kelly has been here, it's been almost I think LSU's winning right now 2-1, but it's just you haven't won in Oxford since 19. You know, and since Kiffin's been there, you won in 20, they won in 21, you won in 22, they won in 23, you won in 24. It's 3-2 right now. It's been pretty evenly split, and a lot of it has to do with Lane Kiffin, his ability to call an offense. To bring some attention to LSU's situation, kind of just what I wrote down at each position. At wide receiver right now, extremely confident in Aaron Anderson, Xavion Thomas, and Barryon Brown. The question marks are Chris Hilton and Aaron Anderson. Where do they fit in? How much can you use them? What will they look like on Saturday? And another guy underlines Kyle Parker. I think you saw on Saturday the dynamic athlete he is and how good he is when you get the ball in his hands. And he does a lot of things really well. He's your best run-blocking wide receiver. He made some really good blocks in that Southeastern game when they bring him in close to the line of scrimmage. So I'm interested to see how much he plays. But those three, I'm extremely confident in: Aaron Anderson, Xavion Thomas, and Barryon Brown. But I would love to see Nick Anderson, Chris Hilton be able to open up for this offense a little bit more.
I really do think they're going to.
Yeah.
Now that Nuss has got his zip back.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think just the game plans just weren't set up for those guys to do their things necessarily. So I wouldn't panic about their ability to be featured in this offense just yet. I think that their best games are ahead of them for sure.
It's just you need a combination of the offensive line being able to do its job, a healthy Nussmeier, and then the play calling to be able to line up for them to be able to do what people want to see them do, where you can take shots down the field. And with that, you also need a run game. And with LSU, you don't know, regardless of if you want to blame Caden Durham, Caleb Jackson, Harlem Berry, the offensive line, hell, you can blame JT Daniels and you can blame whoever. The fact of the matter is it's both. And the fact of the matter is you can't run the football.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And that'll bring up the conversation I was going to put with the running backs. I wrote Caden Durham health ? But also, when healthy, he hasn't been as good as you would hope. Jawan Johnson, I put 2 exclamation marks next to exclamation points. Because he stepped up on Saturday. Can he step up in this football game, though? Like, I think it's kind of in the position now, obviously, depending on Caden Durham's health. Can Jawan be a featured running back? I think he has the talent. He has the ability. He's never had to do it.
Right?
He's never had to do it. Now you're going on the road, and you're going to have to do that.
I mean, is he? Are we penciling him in as the starter, assuming that Durham's out?
If Durham doesn't play, yeah, it's Jawan.
I mean, he may not be out there for snap one, but I mean, like, that's going to be the guy. He's getting.
I would assume
the majority of these carries, right?
Durham being iffy, that I think even if he wasn't, I think you were going to see an increase in Jawan because of what you saw Saturday.
Yeah, and even if Durham plays, he's not going to be at 100%.
Right.
So he's going to be good enough to go a little bit, but it's not going to be a bell cow game.
And it's going to be Jawan Johnson's going to be featured. It's going to be a large increase in his game, I think.
Part of me is excited about that. Part of me is terrified.
Yeah. No, I mean, I understand. And then Caleb Jackson and Harlem Berry, I kind of put them in the same group because it's just kind of like, how much do you trust them? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the position LSU's at, where like,
how one position that they did not strike on in the transfer portal.
I think they were confident in what they had.
Yeah.
With Jackson, you've harped on this a bunch, and I think you're completely right. It's a matter of getting him the ball in very specific types of situations, right? Like, you have to cater to him.
Yeah.
You got to get him that, like we saw on the swing pass, like, we talked about on the couple big highlight runs he's had in the past. You got to give him time to get that head of steam, which is not how we're usually running the ball. So if you're not going to, make those adjustments and try to scheme him, in order to get that the environment he needs, then it's like, don't put him out there. It's but
put him in positions to be successful.
Yes, that was a much more concise way of saying what I was trying to say. Thank you.
Definitely.
Because like Barry can kind of work in the same way that Caden does.
Right.
It's quick starts. It's explosive. But Jackson he's a baby bird that needs a certain amount of care.
Yeah.
Feed the baby bird.
And I think tight end, you'll see Trey return. How does he look? Bauer Sharp looked really good on Saturday against Southeastern. And Donovan Green intrigued me. They use him a good bit in some 13 personnel, but you saw him actually in the offense with that second group in the second half, and I thought that he looked really good. And that might not be something you're going to see on Saturday, but he's intriguing. I'm interested to see Trey Dez back on the football field. Now, comparing the groups, I think LSU's better at wide receiver. I think Ole Miss is better at running back. I think LSU is better at tight end. And I think Ole Miss is better at play caller. And that's so I think offensively, when you just look at these groups, like I said, I think LSU has a pretty large advantage at wide receiver for what both depth and talent. I don't think the gap is as big at running back Ole Miss's way. Tight end, LSU has a pretty big advantage, both depth and talent. But I think playmaker-wise, play caller-wise, Ole Miss has a pretty good advantage, large advantage with Kiffin over, and Charlie Weiss as well over Joe Sloan. So it's going to be interesting to see what the offenses look like on Saturday. But I think, and like I said on the phone call with, I don't remember who it was that brought it up, the mismatch with LSU's defense versus Ole Miss's offense. Well, that's not really a mismatch, but like the two best groups in this game are going to be Ole Miss's offense and LSU's defense. And I think LSU's defense is that much better than Ole Miss's offense than LSU's offense and defense. You know, like LSU's worst group is their offense, Ole Miss's worst group is their defense. LSU's offense is better than Ole Miss's defense. And so I think that you will have more success offensively than I think you anticipate. And your defense is that good to make up for how good they are on offense.
And the way to stop a lot of the scheming that they're so good at is to just fucking overpower them.
Right.
You know, and so if these guys, we've got 6 guys on this line, 7 guys on this line, a couple of linebackers that can bully their way in there. And if, you know, they can set that tone early, it's going to make them a lot more one-dimensional.
Yeah.
And that's the early key, at least.
No, I'm with you. I think this defense is going to cause problems for that offense, and I think that LSU's offense has a really good opportunity to take advantage of what Ole Miss is not very good at, and that's their defense leaves a lot to be desired. So
we rip their heads off.
Ready for that game on Saturday. Make sure you're at Golf
their
Suits at
bodies.
2:30. I think it's time to connect athletically, go 13 for 13, and close this thing out on this Wednesday morning. I got to make my way to a CAS roof today.
Oh.
Go check out what they got going
Can I
on
come?
somewhere. Yeah, come on. Hop in the car. Let's go for
I
that.
got to study.
Study for what? What you got?
Spanish oral exam.
No.
Oral examination.
No, I'm screwed though. It's gonna,
No quiero
I have to be
más.
fluent by Friday, pretty much.
It's all for the speaking exams. It's all memorization.
No, I know, but like I don't know my partner, so like I need to like.
Who's your partner?
I don't know. I didn't see.
The key to good pronunciation is to, you know, like when you're doing like an impression of a Spanish person speaking English, or like for me it was French. So you talk like a French person. It's to do that comical accent, but when you're speaking the language.
Thanks.
That's the key to great pronunciation.
I wonder if I have any of my Spanish oral exams in my.
I'm gonna
Google
get it
Drive.
done. It's just I gotta sit down and write it all out.
You do.
And then
You got to memorize it.
read it and then
See,
read it,
I
and
Quizleted
read
it. That's the way I memorized it. I put what my partner would say as like the question on Quizlet, and so I'd read that and I'd be like, okay, identify one word out of what they say that flips the trigger off in your head. So when you hear that one word, this is your answer.
Yeah, I mean
the
that's
way you
kind of
do
what
it.
I normally do.
Yeah, that's the way you do it.
Yeah,
It's the best way to do it.
if you hear Policula, they're probably asking what's your
Whoa.
favorite movie.
Yes.
When I took Swahili, none of these things worked.
Mm-mm.
This is okay.
Interesting.
Wow.
The fuck?
Yeah.
It's really throwing me off.
I mean, how could we know? I mean,
Man, these people think they're so cute.
I'm running out of ideas.
All right, some mascots.
So I'm thinking the orange is for Syracuse. Oh, look. Rose Bowl, Peach Bowl,
Orange Bowl.
Orange Bowl. There's a Gator Bowl.
There's a Gator Bowl.
I think Gator Bowl makes the most sense.
Okay.
There's
Then
football.
Eagles, Dolphins.
That's a duck.
That's a mallard right there. That's
Oh,
a
that
green
is.
head.
Sorry, what the fuck was I thinking?
Let's try
Oh,
the Gator
so-
Bowl. Let's try the Gator Bowl. Come on. Let's go.
Nice.
I'm squinting over here
All
so
right.
bad. All right, hockey teams. The Wings, the Lightning,
Rays.
the Ducks, and the...
Stars.
Stars. Or the Maple Leafs. That could be one too.
Let's see.
I liked it. This is a lunch.
Because I feel like the Ducks are going to be Oregon.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
probably...
you
I
have-
think it's
you have-
Maple Leafs instead of Ducks.
Then you have what is that?
What is that?
Oh. Oregon. Ducks, 5 stars. That was just for me.
Okay.
Good one.
This is tough.
This is an interesting one.
Ducks, Maple Leafs,
Yeah, I think that's...
Basket, foot, hand,
Stars.
paint. Paintball, handball.
No. Is that a shark or is that a...
It's a shark, I
Oh,
believe.
looks like a dolphin.
What is this one?
Brad Burgess, Ducks, Maple Leafs, Stars, Sharks.
Okay. Yeah, this is
And that's what he said. We just picked the wrong one.
Okay.
And then handball, football, paintball.
Oh, nice.
Basketball. And then the Liberty, the Storm, the Wings, and the Sun. This is WNBA teams.
That was... Only getting one wrong is pretty good.
Wow.
That's
Shout out
fucking
to
weird.
Brian Burgess helped us out.
No clue.
Dar.
That was a tough one. Still, I mean, that's the crazy thing. We still pulled this one off. We know more about emojis than we do about Canada. And
As it should be.
You know what's funny? My knowledge of Canada has not grown since failing that one. I've not done any research.
If anything, I'm more of a bastard about
More
Canada.
stubborn.
Now I
refusing to
learn about Canada less.
Right.
Want to learn about Canada real quick?
Tell me something about Canada.
In certain counties, so you're allowed to drink at 18, but in certain counties you have to be 19.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Is that awesome?
That's great. Sorry.
Jack Nicholson.
Oh my gosh, Jennifer Garner, and then the late night show.
James
Corden.
James
Is that
Corden.
Jennifer Garner,
Oh.
though? Or is that...
Oh, that's Kinfolk.
No, I think that's... She was...
Jennifer Garner's the one from Draft Day, right?
Boy, I'm seeing somebody else, but you're better at this. I'm seeing that... What was it? She was like the Rebel
Wilson?
No. She was like the chubby girl.
Rebel Wilson.
No,
from Pitch
last name was...
Perfect.
Yeah.
Rebel Wilson.
Was Wilson? Was her last name?
Yeah.
I don't think that's her. I think you're getting confused by James Corden.
Yeah, I think that James Corden is... Okay, I trust
Dude,
you.
James Corden?
Yeah.
Definitely him.
I saw that one too.
Yeah.
I heard he's a dick.
Yeah, I've heard he's not very nice.
He's not from here, you know.
Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure...
Oh, yeah,
that's
nobody
Jennifer Garner.
likes James Corden.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Everyone likes Jimmy Fallon.
Which is so weird.
Jimmy Fallon is everyone's favorite.
Maybe he's a drunk.
He's a drunk, because you think... which means we'd like him, but...
Yeah. I think he's a little too comfortable in a position.
I think it's G.
What's the name?
Garner? Jennifer Garner. You had it? Yeah. There
It's
it is.
his wife. Interesting.
There it is.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Wait, Jennifer Garner's married to James Corden?
No.
What?
Oh, at 35 years old, Keenan McCardell caught a career-high 9 touchdowns with his AFC franchise in 2005.
35-year-old wide receiver.
Is he a Charger?
He was
like
a
a
Charger.
Saints player.
AFCs or the Chargers are in the AFC.
But he also... Did he play for Jacksonville, too? Did I make that up?
You probably made it up, but it might be right.
Or am I just seeing Keenan, thinking Keenan Allen, and then thinking Chargers? He did play for... I don't know.
Colts?
Colt? I didn't...
Andrew Messina said the fat Amy actress. That's
Yeah.
Rebel Wilson, I believe. Brian Burgess says Chargers, so we got
Chargers.
that. Good job.
It's either Chargers or Patriots because he changed teams late.
The NBA, the number 1 overall pick in the 1991 NBA draft, is power forward. So this was a couple years before Shaq.
Larry Johnson.
Sean.
Yeah. Out of UNLV.
Grandmama.
Grandmama.
The weirdest nickname
That's
ever.
the best nickname.
It's great.
Big Sky School has red turf.
Oh, it was like Arkansas State or something?
I don't think they're Big Sky.
I saw this the other day, and it's fucking abusive.
Arkansas State does have...
Ball State?
Maybe. San Diego State?
It's really horrific.
What conference are
San
they
Diego
in?
State's not Big Sky.
Like, you're not
So
supposed
it'd be
to look.
up north, right? That's what I would... When I think Big Sky.
It's like conference realignment.
Eastern Washington.
Oh,
yes,
that's it.
Andrew Messina. I thought it was a directional school. Isn't that where Cooper Kupp went?
I believe so. Oh.
Oh no! This is wow.
Oh, I got you. Trotsky.
What? Why do you know that?
How do you spell it?
Trosk. No?
Yeah, so your mom took Tylenol.
Trotsky?
This is bullshit. Am I spelling it wrong?
Is that it?
Is that it?
him?
No, that's Tchaikovsky. We'll come back to it.
We'll come back to it. We'll
But
figure out how to
I'm
spell
right.
that.
Can I Google it to figure out the spelling? Trotsky. There we go.
Trotsky. T-R-O-T.
There we go.
Leon.
Trotsky. chain restaurants. Let's go.
Yes.
Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Boom.
Fuck yeah.
Think I don't know a Sunjoy boy?
This is we have a varied room of gentlemen here, don't we? That's fucking hilarious.
Oh god.
Bob Saget. Right?
I used to say that as a curse word.
Oh yeah, that's a great video.
Bob Saget was my curse word.
Oh fuck salt. That's not Mickey Mouse, that's tit dirt.
I don't know.
Oh gosh.
I don't fuck with these movies.
Fell in love with a soldier, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
No, that's a no.
They
That's a
correspond with
John
letters.
Le
I
Carre
mean,
novel.
we thought of this in 2010. This is like, this is the plot to everything.
They're all said Pearl Harbor.
Channing Tatum, is he in Pearl Harbor?
No.
It didn't come out in 2010 either.
No, it didn't.
No, it was way before that.
Isn't that Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Josh Hartnett.
Josh Hartnett, supposed to be the heartthrob.
Dear John. Dear John.
Oh, she's some John Deere letter. I don't know. I really wasn't paying attention.
That could have been made. That could have been an
Sean
AI
Jay.
thing, and I wouldn't have.
This hip hop duo had hits in the 2000s with "Sick of Being Lonely" and "So What."
I'm so lonely.
What? I don't.
I know who Shauna J is.
I don't even know who that is, but the way you're looking at me right now, I don't think I'm.
Oh, it's a documentary actress, I bet.
Yeah. She's verified.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Lloyd's.
Something
Rampant consumption.
Mob?
Mob Deep?
No.
No. Mob Deep has
I
Nas
don't
in it.
know.
It's the something
ASAP
Mob.
Mob?
He says. It's not ASAP
No,
Mob.
those would have the ASAP men in it.
Field Mob, Crime Mob.
Moby. Dick.
Dick.
Dick Mob. Mob.
I don't know. There's
Ooh.
Goody
Try
Mob, Field
all
Mob,
Field
Field
Goody?
Mob,
Field
Field
Mob.
Mob.
Field Mob. Try all caps Mob. Mob.
We'll see what comes up.
Mob.
Field Mob. 13 for 13.
There we
you
go.
guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us this morning. We will be back tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m. We will do a dive into, I think we're just going to do the defense as a whole tomorrow.
Okay.
For both teams. The defense as a whole. No need to break it up. Just really break down the defense for LSU, defense for Ole Miss. Tomorrow, 7 to 9 a.m. We will see you then. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it
Field
with
Mob.
your friends. There it is, Field Mob.
Holy shit,
They
that's
lived it.
literal.
That is a great photograph.
They're like, well, this is
if
what
you
we
were
are.
going to ask me what the name of the band of the group would be,
Field
I'd
Mob.
say it's the Field Mob. They're dressed as mobsters and they're in the field.
You know? Yeah. Sometimes you don't want subtlety.
No,
No.
let's be straight up,
Right on the-
straightforward,
Right on the nose. LSU be straightforward.
Mobsters and a few.
straightforward.
None
We'll be
of
back tomorrow morning,
Trotsky.
7 to 9 a.m. We will see you then.
Trotsky.
He got killed by a hammer. Got hammered in the head.
Mm.
Assassinated.
Christian almost died hammered one time.
He did.
Died hammered.
Died hammered.
That's different from getting
He done-
killed by a hammer.
He done died hammered.
Hammered to death.
Well,
Hammered drunk.
oh, he can breathe.
It's a double
He's
on
fine.
time.